Any better? Have we got sound now? Ah, Gert says yes. Is that yes to sound? Hey, we're in! Woo! Thanks everyone for being here. That's great. I have got a new microphone. I think there was a setting I hadn't changed. Look, I've gone posh. I've got a Rode one. It's only a baby one, but it's very good, I think. Now I know how to use it. How are you all? It's so good to see so many of you in chat. I hope you're all okay. Thanks for joining me. Just in case on replay or tonight, you had to turn me down. Oh, good. I am loud. Yes, in case there's anybody joining us tonight or watching this on the replay who's not sure who I am, don't worry. Half the time I'm not sure who I am either. But I'm Tracy from Mini Scenes GB. You are watching on my crafting channel tonight. So if you like your crafts, do go and have a rummage in my videos. And we are joined by a bunch of people in chat. Oh crikey. There's lots of. I'm not going to be able to keep up with this. Where did you all come from? I'm so glad you've got nothing better to do on a Monday night. Right, tonight is Ask Me Anything night, literally. In fact, we've got our first question coming up on the screen now. Um, so yes, that's the plan. Now, really, you can ask me anything about YouTube, about resin, about random things. I think it was Gert last time that asked me where I stood on zombies. That's a perfectly good question. In fact, we'll open tonight's questions with a question somebody asked me earlier today. What's my favourite crisps? For anybody outside the UK, that is potato chips, I think you call them most places. My favourite crisps are roast chicken. There you go. It's one question out of the way. Now, Deborah wants to know how my sale went. Thanks, Deborah, for the question. It was you, Gert. I might have known it was you, Gert. So, Deborah's question. Yeah, those who don't know, I did a craft sale on the weekend. I haven't done one for, oh, it's got to be a couple of years or more now. I just don't have time, so I tend to give all my makes to charity. But at a local community centre, we're having an event for Christmas, and they said, would I like to have a stall? And I thought, well, let's give it a go. So I was selling things for probably daft prices that, really I should have been charging more, but it was more of a good chance to have a good clear out, really. But yeah, we did all right. I got enough for, I don't know, a couple of tanks full of petrol and a few bottles of beer. Oh, and I won a bottle of wine and 3 cans of beer as well. And I bought a little cuddly dragon. I should have brought him in to show you, hadn't I? Shouldn't I? Oh, Deb, they are yummy. Hi, Sally. Oh, crikey. Who else have we got? Kim. Hello, Kim. Mona. Uh, oh, crikey. Who's Andrew? Hello, Andrew. Gosh, there's all these people. I'm sorry if I missed somebody saying hello to them. Um, oh, you've got one as well, Lula. Oh, Lula was making paint your own kits, weren't you? I think I might try that if we do it again next year. So that would be great. If I call, so that's how the sale went, Deb. We had great fun actually. It was really really nice. If I call myself a charity, would you give me some of your makes? Annie, I always say if people will just let me know if they want them and don't mind paying the postage, then yeah, just you have to be quick before I give them away to the charity. So just let me know. But what we got here then? So painting kits for pretend grown-ups. I like that, Lula. Very good. Did it hide the message? There we go. So we're all now a charity, are we? Shall I get out the other questions that I'd got beforehand? These I took from my comments, so my video comments. So while you have a think and see what else you want to ask me, I mean, literally anything you're curious about, go for it. I'll cover these off. A couple of them are a bit odd, really. This was a nice one. What's your best resin craft gadget of the year? I have to say, I've had a few. I've had a really nice little compact clamshell. The two double-sided UV lamp from Istoyo, and because it's quite little and compact compared to the electro resin one, I'm finding that really useful. But I think the Z fold out UV lamp is an absolute fave of mine. That's a superb bit of kit. I know you'll have seen me using it a lot. That the electro resin one, and also the electro resin sander. That sanding thing, it's just that's been an absolute godsend. So, and to answer whoever that was that asked me that question in my comments, those would be the ones I think. They would have to be. That sander's just awesome. I've been using it for all sorts of other things as well, which is good. Nice multifunctional thing. I'm going to be testing it on car bits soon. My cat just licked Tracy's forehead. Thank you, Gert. Thank you, Gert's cat. Surprised mine hasn't come in and bounced me yet. Actually, that's another question that somebody asked was, how's the cat? He might come and see us. If I'm sat downstairs on the sofa, which clearly I'm not, this is the craft room with a green light added. But if I'm sat on the sofa downstairs trying to do on a live, I think Sally will vouch for this. He sits on the back of the sofa, and if he gets bored, he bites my t-shirt and starts doing this at it. So he might show up in here. I don't know. How do I price my resin art? That's the perennial question. That's a really good question. I would say when I used to make things, I'd work out how much it cost me to make the item in resin and whatever else, and then double it. It was really as unscientific as that, because if you tried to, well, you know yourselves, if you try to factor in your time properly and charge out your time, you'd be charging like £100 for a coaster, wouldn't you? Which isn't gonna, it just isn't gonna work. I think if we're all honest, we never really charge what we should for our pieces, do we? But that was the formula I used to use when I was selling it a lot. Roughly what it cost me to make and double it. Of course, nowadays I get a lot of my materials free, so I can afford to either practically give them away or actually give them away. So yes, Sally's seen Lego jump on my shoulder and bite me. He doesn't bite hard, he's just playing. But yeah, if that helps, I think that is a fairly good rule of thumb. There are some calculators on the internet for working out craft pricings. And I know Steve McDonald's got a formula he uses, but I think if you use Steve's formula, you end up somewhere around what it costs you and double it. So if that's any sort of a guide, that helps. So yes, if anybody doesn't know, did John do that? John, did you pop that on the screen? Thank you. My cat is called Lego. The rescue centre called him Lego, and I thought that was a great name for a cat, so it's kind of stuck. And he has got a YouTube channel. I do. It's not much on there. I do need to do a bit of an update on it soon. I've got some new bits of film clips to put on, but he's a proper big grown-up boy now and still as mad as a box of frogs. But if anybody hasn't seen it, the channel is Lego the Rescue Cat. So that was another question I got asked. What was there? We've done crisps, we've done the cat, best resin gadget. Oh yeah, now I had a couple of ones that made me go, what's the matter with you? Should we do those? Why are you dyeing your hair that weird colour? Yeah. It's not really an answer to that, is there? Anyway, aside from that, this one actually is definitely worth answering, I think. If your product reviews are honest, why do we never see bad reviews on your channel? And I think that's actually they were trying to be a bit of a one, I think. But oh, Sally's come up with a good question. I'll pop that on screen and I'll come to that in a moment so I don't forget it. Thank you, Sally. The reason you don't see bad reviews on my channel is that very early on, a very big YouTuber. Oh, thank you, Deb. I'm trying to grow it out. It's still a bit dark under here. Still got a black bit under here. She's grey. This is real. Yeah, quite early on in my YouTube journey, a very wise and very famous YouTube guru said to me that it is best not to post bad reviews because it puts not only that supplier off working with you ever again, but also Thank you, Jenna. There's Lego's channel link, but also other suppliers going forward. Now, so what I do, I have had quite a few products that I absolutely will not um, recommend to you. Therefore, you simply don't see them on my channel. What I do instead is I give the suppliers feedback. In the one case, it was basically get stuffed because they were trying to con me to put out a review, a good review. Um, Other suppliers, I've gone back to them and said, look, I'd love to do you a review, but this isn't quite there. Can I give you some feedback? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Lynn. Very kind. So I've gone back and I've said, can I give you some feedback instead? Um, Now, there's one product I've just been trying, which is actually excellent, and there will be a video out on that soon. But I'm going back to them with a bit of feedback because in their kit they put a little plastic measuring pot in it. Well, I don't know about you, but I'd have preferred a silicon one. So I'm just going back to them with that little bit of feedback. Um, have we got someone else arrive? Oh, hi, Rachel. Yeah, so that's how I do it. There have been a couple of products that the suppliers have come to me very nicely and said, would you like this? Would you do a review? And I've had to go back to them and say, I'm really sorry, but I plugged it in and it went bang. And so rather than put a video out saying, oh, this is rubbish, it went bang, I've actually just gone back to them, given them some feedback. And then hopefully, and that's hopefully fairly soon now, I'll be getting the revised version to show you. So that's what I do. So you will only see it on my channel if the feedback is generally good, because I don't want to put suppliers off dealing with me in the future, but I will be totally honest with them. Now, we've got some of the questions here. Which do I enjoy using the most, said Sally. Epoxy resin or eco resin? That's a really difficult one. I really like both. I think I go through phases. In the summer, it was nice using eco resin, particularly with it being so warm, and I was using it outside, and I did that big marathon eco makes. I was using Buonite and Ecopore, wasn't I? That was great because I could get a whole lot going, and it was like, well, I was pouring the next one, the first one had cured, and that was huge fun to do. So many items, but then again, I do love the lovely glassiness of epoxy. So, sorry, Sally, I can't actually decide on that. Maybe resin edges it slightly, but I don't know, I'm not entirely sure. Sorry, that's a bit lame, isn't it? But anyway, that's it. Now, I did see a couple more questions coming through, didn't I? Andrew wanted to know, how do you glaze your is that plaster of Paris projects? I don't use plaster of Paris at all. I used to when I was doing model railway scenery, but that didn't need glazing. I use eco casting powders nowadays, and they're more like a ceramic finish. Now I think my favourite sealant to give them like a satiny sheen, well, almost like a matte really, is the furniture wax. And the one from Boo and Nicole I find the easiest to use because it's really soft. So that's really easy to use. But there are quite a range of like paint on sealants as well. The one from Create and Bloom is particularly good. Boo and Nicole's one is very good as well. So I do quite like using those. And of course, you can tint those with mica powder and things as well if you want to give things like a bit of a metallic sheen. So those would be the things I would normally use. But I think, well, no, I know. I can definitely say my favourite is that furniture wax, and particularly the Boo and Nicole one. What else we got? Got some more people coming in. Oh, Sherry's. Oh, hi, Sherry. She's going AFK for a few. I thought I saw another question. Oh, it was John making sure I'd seen that one from Andrew. Yeah, I hope that's answered the question so far. Have we got any other questions? Otherwise, it's going to be a very quiet moment. Oh, hang on. Rachel, that's a cracking question. Let me just pop that up on the screen as well. How do they contact me? It's usually by email. I've always got my email address, and it's not the one that is used to generate my channel, by the way. There's a tip for you. Make sure that your email address for your channel is different to the one that you publish for contacts. Just keeps your channel a bit more secure. Now, they contact me by email usually. And now, the tricky bit is knowing whether they are legit. Oh, John, remind me, I'll come back to the one from Gert as well then. And you're very wise to ask that. Some of them can look very convincing. I get a lot that look as if they're from suppliers of things like X tools, you know, the laser cutters and stuff. And the email addresses look right and everything. It all looks legit. Now, sometimes there are some obvious clues though. If they go, "Dear Sir," now I'm definitely a girl. But if they go, "Dear Sir," or "Dear Miss," hi Susie, um, or "Dear Mini Scenes GB," and you think, if been watching your channel, you haven't, have you? So very often you can tell with things like that, really bad grammar, bad spelling. There's giveaways, and sometimes the email addresses just look nothing like as well. But if it isn't one of those, and it's one of these ones like I was mentioning a minute ago that look really legit, what I do is I do not click anything in the email. No links, nothing. Don't click anything, don't reply. I look at the brand name they're allegedly representing, um, and I go to that website. I search it on Google and go to it, not from a link in that email. And usually there's a chat that I can use or a contact us email or something like that. And I copy the email address that it's come from to them and I say, "Does this person represent you?" And if they come back and say that they do, then yay! And I've checked out pretty much all of the ones I've been using lately like that, and it's been absolutely foolproof so far. Because I really thought that Omtech were joking when they said, "Can we send you a CO2 laser cutter?" But no, they were totally genuine. But that's what I would do, Rachel. Just go straight to the website, not from a link in the emails, and ask the firm directly, "Does this person represent you?" And if they genuinely do, you can then say, "Sorry for the delay in replying. You'll understand I do get a lot of scams come through. Just needed to check that you are legitimate, and I'm really delighted that you are. Now, how can we work together?" So that's what I would do. I hope that answers your question, Rachel. I can see we've got some new people coming in. We've got Crafty Coven and the other Sally. uh, right. Oh, yes. John shared Gert's question. My favourite make this year. It's got to be the mushrooms. You know, just a few weeks ago, I did the big mushrooms and with the little dragon sitting on the front. I actually sold that on the weekend as well. And I've got a feeling there's going to be, I've heard from a few people they're going to have a go at making something like that. But yeah, the big mushrooms took me all week. But what I ended up with was just such a happy looking thing. I absolutely love that. That's got to be my favourite, I think. Who else we got? There's some more questions. Oh, John's passed on that Crafty Coven asked, "Can anyone join Crafty YouTubers United, even if we're only just starting?" That is actually a perfect time to start. Yes, absolutely. Everybody is welcome. There's a few of us that have had a channel for a few years now, but there's a whole load of people who are literally just on their first or second video. Quite a few people hadn't even got that far. They were just sort of screwing up the courage to do it when they joined. That's exactly what it's for. It's a bit of a support network for people, and generally between us, we can help. I don't think any of us knows everything, and none of us would be so arrogant to think we did. But generally, if you pop a question in there, one of the gang will know it. You know, between us, we do know a lot of stuff, and they're such a friendly, lovely bunch. So all you do if you want to join is either contact Gert, because she's one of the moderators as well, or Julia, or just drop me an email if you want to at miniscenesgb@gmail.com. Either way, we can just send you an invite. The only reason we have an invite is because we have had a few nasties in the group back in the past. Hasn't happened for absolutely ages, but so we just like to know who people are before they join. That's all. But you'd be ever so welcome to join us, Crafty Coven. That would be awesome. Now Kim has asked, favorite mediums you like to use in my resin. there's an out and out winner on that. If you're meaning sort of like colours and additives and things, the outright winner this year by a long shot is the colours and the glitters, so the pigment pastes and the glitters and the mica powders and everything from Create and Bloom. They are just on a different level. I've used a lot of pigment pastes, and pigment pastes are great because they've got a lot of pigment in them. So they do tend to be very strong colours and very good. The ones from Create and Bloom seem to be even more heavily pigmented, and the colour range is just breathtaking. So I would say that's got to be my favourite mediums, Kim. If that's what you meant. If it isn't, just give me a shout and elaborate. But I think of all the things I've used with my resin this year, those have absolutely blown me away. They really have. The mushrooms were awesome. Thank you. Oh, was it you, Deb? Never managed to actually make a video yet. Honestly, it takes a while to build up to it. I kind of jumped into it like a maniac, which is how I do stuff. But for most people, take your time. There's no rush. Just when you'll never be ready, so start before you're ready is what the experts always say. But when you've got to be feeling a little bit, a little bit up for it when you actually do it. um, Grace, look forward to hearing from you, Crafty Coven. Susie wants to know. That's a really good question. Thanks, Deb. If you can repair a silicon mold, I've tried and not had a lot of success, to be honest. If it's just like a tiny hole, you could try resealing it with some more silicon, but I've never really succeeded. So, can anybody else help with that one? I must admit, I'm terrible. I tend to just chuck it away and get another one. Which some of my molds I do. It tends to be the cheaper molds that split, and so I'm generally just don't feel too bad about throwing it away and buying a new one. But it would be good to know how to fix them. I've tried silicon putty as well, but not had a lot of luck, as I say. So if anybody else can answer that better than me, please do. Rachel wants to know, how do I store my silicon mold? Rachel, did you see that live of my craft room? You know, all that stuff on the floor. That was it. But I'm getting better. I have got storage boxes. Those really useful boxes, they're called, the plastic carry boxes with the lids on. I tend to put them back in little plastic bags, particularly the Into resin ones. They come in their own little fancy bags. And then I pop them into those storage boxes. Any that need lying flat, I tend to put a sheet of cardboard in between them and stack them up, because that's how the mould and shapes molds come. And I thought that's a good idea. So it doesn't, so they don't get scratched. But generally, mold storage, total blooming nightmare. What I have started doing though, I found I got a lot of pot ones. So you've got 2-part molds, or even 3 or 4-part molds. So you've got a pot and a lid, and it's not the same lid that came off the pot. And what have you done with the lid that was on that pot? Does anybody else have that problem? Anyway, as I've found them and paired them back up again, I've put both bits into a plastic bag. Those zippy self-seal bags, and then put them into my big, really useful boxes. So when I pull one out, the right bits are with it. So that's a bit of a pain. But yeah, I too have terrible trouble with storing. There's still a huge, really useful box outside the bedroom door that I haven't sorted yet. Which colour? Oh, is this my next question? Which one-to-one collab did I learn the most from? It's got to be the watercolor one. So I don't know if everybody knows this, but I have been doing one-to-one collaborations. I'll do them with anybody who expresses an interest. Any of the members of Crafty YouTubers United, more than happy to do a one-to-one collaboration, because I think it does help to share audiences, and it's also extremely good fun. So I've been doing these collaborations called Challenge Tracey, and people have been challenging me to things that might be a bit out of my comfort zone. I know I definitely learned a lot from the one I did with Amy on blooms. All of them I've learnt something from, definitely, and I've certainly enjoyed all of them very much. But I think the watercolor one, that was Gert, wasn't it? I'd always been frightened of doing watercolors because, frankly, it was the one paint medium that I never got the hang of. Acrylics fine, oils fine, couldn't do watercolors. But I'm a bit obsessed now. Hi, Nikki. Um, yeah, so I've got a toolbox full of like really posh watercolor paints and big pile of paper and yeah. So that one, I think it made me learn a bit more about watercolors, and it's really got me into it. So I would say probably that one. Yeah. What we got? What's going on here? Maybe brush on silicone for small repairs. There's a suggestion from Rachel for the repairing the molds. That's got to be worth a try. Now, I've not tried brush on silicone for years, but there's some new brands out, and I'm sure I've seen Steve McDonald using it. I can't think who else. It might be better. It's got to be worth a try, hasn't it? Anything's worth a try. So that's probably a good thought there. There you go. Susie, it was Susie, wasn't it? Rachel's got an idea for you. Uh, oh, I see. Sally wanted to know. Thanks for keeping up with the questions for me, John, because I hope I'm not missing too many. Sally wanted to know, how long had you been doing resin before you started your YouTube channel? I've been using polyurethane resin. No, polyester resin. It's horrible stuff. Don't use it. But I've been using that for doing model railway scenery for probably, I don't know, a couple of years, something like that. Um, I'd used fantasy film dipping resin, 20 or more years ago. I ruined a dining table with it. We were in this house. So between 20 and 25 years ago. So I knew I liked doing that. But it was during lockdown I started seeing people like it was Daniel Cooper, Steve McDonald, Julie Kurtz, all the usuals, Claire's Crafty Corner, Wendy. I was seeing all these sort of people doing things with epoxy resin, and I thought, gotta have a go with that. And UV resin, which had obviously come on a lot since I first used it. So it's probably before I actually started putting it on my channel, it's probably only a matter of weeks. I think it was just a matter of weeks. At first, I used a load of just cheap stuff I was getting from, it wasn't Temu at the time. Where was I getting it from? eBay, some of it. I think AliExpress, some of it. Because Temu wasn't in the UK, but it was all the cheap stuff. It was whatever was cheapest. And it smelled horrible. And I kept having so many fails. I convinced myself at first that I wasn't going to be able to make it work. And then I thought, I know, before I give up on this, I'm going to try a nice brand. And I forget which brand it was that I ordered, but one of the main ones, it'd be J Diction or Tea Expert or somebody like that. And suddenly it's like, oh, it wasn't me that was rubbish then. And this doesn't smell as bad. Oh, and then I found you were meant to be wearing respirators and everything. So it was probably only a few weeks after that, really, discovering the new resins that I could actually that actually worked and were nice to work with. So yeah, it wasn't very long. Wasn't very long before I started actually getting brave and just slapping it on YouTube to see what happened. What else we got? We have Susie's got another great question around molds. Best way to make a mold without wasting silicone around the sides. You know what? That drives me mad as well. First of all, there's those mold frames that we can get. Let's Resin do them. Nick Pro do them as well. I've seen cheaper versions, but the little frames that all just clip together with little clips, so you can make them to the size you want. Those then annoyed me because I wanted half-size pieces, and I spoke to the manufacturer, Nick Pro, Let's Resin, and all those, and said, "Can you do half-size pieces so we could waste less? We could get nearer to the actual size that we need." And they weren't interested. So a friend of mine with a 3D printer made me a load, and I sold quite a few. I've still got some in stock if anybody needs them. So that was a start because that obviously cut down the amount of space you need. Also, if you do like me and I use a lot of like yogurt pots, I think that was yogurt, it might have been trifle, something like that. My mum gives me these. Again, stick my little thing that I want to take the mold from in the bottom, but get the smallest pot I can without making the silicone so thin that it's going to rip, you know. So there's all of that. Then the final thing is where you've got bigger areas that are just going to be a big wedge of silicone, you can create voids in it. And again, your little plastic pots are good for this. Put something heavy in them, gravel or something, and push it down into the silicone to create a void. We could fill it with resin actually to make a void. So you've got like holes in the back of your mold, and that saves a lot. And probably there's another thing that a lot of people do, and that's if you've got any failed molds, any broken molds, old molds, torn ones or whatever, chop them into bits and chuck them in with the silicone as well to beef it up, because usually you can't see it. If it's one you're just making for yourself, so it doesn't matter anyway, then who cares? If you're making them to sell, you probably wouldn't do that so much. But yeah, so I hope that helps. Do the way racing silicone around the sides. Yeah, I hope that helps, Susie. Say the creating the voids was the game changer for me. Now, Andrew wants to know, do I use stickers in my resin? Yeah, I've got one here that I've put a sticker in. I did one yesterday with this. It must be downstairs. Yeah, I do. UV DTF stickers have been around a while. They're really good. I use washi tape. That's basically PET tape from the washi tape shop. That's a roll of stickers, basically. So yeah, I do. I do use stickers in my resin. Works very well. Can you suggest hang on, put that on the screen. Can you suggest websites for copyright-free B-roll? Um, yes, I don't tend to use them though. Storyblocks is a popular one. You have to pay for it. It is a subscription thing. But yes, Storyblocks is very well recommended. There's a few out there really. What I tend to do is record my own B-roll. So whenever I'm out and I think, that's a useful looking scene. There was one that was just like a load of geese following Mark around. Filmed that. Something with the cars going on at the museum. Film those. You know. So I did. Yeah, a bit of a river flowing by or whatever. Film those. So I do that a lot of that sort of thing. I also once bought a video clip from Pond 5, and that was the original Kermit, and I took the background out. And since then, once a month, they send me a free B-roll clip. I haven't bought any more clips from them. You're talking 100 quid or more a time. But they send me free ones. So I'm getting quite a library built up of free ones, which is quite nice. That's Pond 5. The stuff from there is very good. And finally, make your own. Some of mine, you've probably seen my dancing reindeer and silly things like that lately. Those are done in Midjourney. But there are, is it David? It's David. I'll have to look it out. A little while ago, I did a free trial with a software that you could take a photo and it'd animate it for you. So I was making a parked car look like it was moving and things like that. It was only like about 2 or 3 seconds long, but it was really, really good. I've made my frog that I use for my subscribe thing wink at the screen and things like that with it. So I must dig that out again. But it was a free trial. That's something else you have to pay for. So yeah, Storyblocks and Pond 5 are great for copyright free B-roll. I don't know of any good free ones, to be perfectly honest, but you can usually grab a bit of a free trial on quite a lot of them, so it's worth like having a look around. J Diction silicone apparently is very good, so that's worth looking at to mend your molds. I think the J Diction one was the one that Steve McDonald's been demoing, isn't it? Because I know he uses a lot of J Diction stuff. Deb's advice there. Kim might want to invest in a good non-Temu resin. I agree. And glitter and mica powders, yeah. But Temu resins, I did find one by accident a bit back that cured okay-ish. It just took 2 days and it didn't give off VOC, so that was a bit of a surprise. But when I worked it out price-wise, it was about the same price as paying for Let's Resin. So might as well use the real thing. Oh, yes, there's something. I've been given some fake Let's Resin. and I haven't forgotten. I am going to do a video on that. The person who gave it me tells me that you take the lid off and it nearly blows your socks off. It's really, really stinky. So I'm going to get myself all masked up one of these days and do a comparison between that and the real thing, with my full on VOC tester going and everything else, and the cat locked out of out of the room for about a week afterwards. Maybe I'll wait until the spring when I can do it outside. But the bottles actually look like Let's Resin, which is just insane. You have to look really closely to see it's a different brand name. And that was from Temu. But it is dangerous. I mean, properly dangerous. Resin smelt like cat's pee when I mixed it. Who's that saying that? Kim. Yeah, it shouldn't smell at all. I get very little. I mean, people say, "What does your resin smell like?" So, well, for a start, you shouldn't really be able to smell it because you've got a respirator on. But like an idiot, I do it so you don't have to. I have sniffed some of them, and I have to say, there's very, very little odor, even when they're curing from Let's Resin, Tea Expert, J Diction, Apex, um, Craft Resin, Artline. Those are the ones I'm testing at the moment. And the same with the UV resin, very little odor at all, and it's not unpleasant. Where are we? We've done the B-roll. Do you find it hard to keep up with a regular filming schedule? Oh, heck yes. I'm just toying with the idea of stopping working at the museum, actually, because I keep thinking, if I get those 2 days back, um, I can actually have a day off. I don't have. I'm working 7 days a week on this, and it's not out of greed for money or anything. It's out of the I want to help people, I want to inspire people, and I want to have fun and make friends through this, which is my primary motivation. The fact that it makes a bit of money is a complete side issue and a very nice one. But what happens is suppliers, and it's gone completely berserk since this spring, suppliers, including brand new ones, new to market, are sending me stuff to test and to demo on my channel. And once they've been kind and sent me stuff, I feel like I've got to get this video out this week. I've got to get it out quick. And it's a lovely, lovely problem to have, but it's damned hard work. And as you probably know, I do still edit all my own videos, and I have kind of got a life, sort of. And I want to get out and make videos for the other channel just because that's total fun, really. I mean, that one isn't even monetized, that channel, but yeah. So I'm kind of thinking of maybe dropping the museum completely. I mean, I've kind of done my time there. I do love it there. I love the cars and all that. I'll still go there for shows. I'm actually a premium member there, so I can go there for events and things like that. So I might just, I might hang up my combat trousers. I wear combat trousers to the museum. My polo shirt pretty soon. That'll give me a bit of time back. Where we got? So filming schedule, yeah, it's a flipping nightmare. Also, I'm desperately disorganized, and that doesn't help. Uh, oh yes, John's mentioned it was the that resin I was saying. It was John that gave it to me. He was giving it that nasty stuff, and he straight away thought, "Oh God, that's nasty," and gave it me to do the tests with. So yeah, I shall get well geared up and make sure it's safe before I make that video. Uh, thanks, thank you, Deb. I just wanted to share and make friends, and it's just this community's just appeared. It's just you lot are just blooming awesome. I don't feel like I do much for the community really. I'd love to do more, but it's all time, and as I always say, I'm not an expert, but I just think the world of you lot. You're just awesome. I so appreciate you. I'm gonna well up a bit here now. But you lot have got me through some right sticky times. You really have. Uh, Kim, Sky, my daughter, tried to follow you on Amazon and buy some bits from your store. Hope it's okay. Yeah, thank you. Any little sales from the store on Amazon, we get a tiny little bit of commission, so I very much appreciate it. Uh, oh, there's the question of the century. The mental health sides of keeping up with YouTube. Any tips for anxiety? Uh, it's surprising how quick you get used to just laughing off trolls. There's a lot of we don't get as many in our niche as some others would anyway. It's a very minor issue with us, and you can hide certain words, like bad language, things like that. You can just put in your settings to block certain words, and you and that helps. It gets rid of a lot of the aggro to start with. Then you start to get a. I went for about a year getting really upset by everything. I'm a terrible snowflake. I am. I'll be perfectly honest. I'm feeble. But I've now got to the point where I just go delete or reply sweetly. Thank you for your comment, and just leave it at that. Because any interaction is engagement, and the YouTube algorithm likes that. Um, the bits that I've found incredibly hard to deal with is when other YouTubers have turned on me. I don't tend to talk about this much because it still hurts. But a couple of YouTubers have really turned on me and spread packs of lies about me. And now, talk about mental health. That has affected my physical health as well. I had to double up on the. I've been on antidepressants for a few years anyway, but just a very low dose. We had to double them up. And during the course of this year, you know what? I only told Mark tonight. I'm going to tell you lot because I can see it's mostly my friends in chat anyway who know me well, and a few new friends as well. Um, I've been suffering from chest pains, and anyway, I'm going to the doctors in the morning because got to the point where it's getting a bit scary. So I haven't liked to bother anybody else with it because I know a lot of you have got your own problems. Hi, Angie. Um, and I'm absolutely sure it's just an anxiety thing. But bearing in mind, my entire family have died of heart attacks, and my mum's had a quadruple bypass. She's the only one left. I'm getting it checked. I sure am, and it's been months. But yeah, it has affected my health badly. And I'm getting to the stage now where I'm just finding it quite funny. It's funny, and I'm just moving on. But it, the, yeah, I think the aftermath is still there, and I am feels like Stitch, like when you get Stitch if you've been running, but it's up here. I am the problem. Lula says she's the problem. No, you're not, Lula. Oh, thank you for all your lovely comments, everyone. You're absolute stars. Anyway, to come back to this question about the mental health side of YouTube, you do honestly quickly learn when to take it and when to leave it. You quickly make friends around it. You quickly learn to deal with the trolls, especially when you've got a bunch of friends where you can say, "Oh, they've put this," and we can all go, "Ha ha ha! Reply like this," and we'll all take the mickey. It's probably one of the most useful things Crafty YouTubers United has done for me, is that we're all there for each other and we can take the mickey out of each other's trolls, and it feels so much better. I think the other thing is it's very easy to get entrenched in it, especially when you have a bad spell. Now, what happened to me, hopefully, should never happen to anybody else. I really hope not. Um, but keeping friends around you, knowing who actually are the genuine people, and that makes the biggest difference. And take breaks. I found that if I take a couple of weeks out because I need to, everybody just says, "We'll be there when you get back." Everybody's absolutely lovely about it. It's fine to take breaks when you need to. She says, "I need to take a leaf out of my own book there, don't I?" But do make time for yourselves. And I think the one thing I suffered from early on, which was very quickly cured by making friends within the community, was the loneliness about it. Mark was very, very, very supportive right from the start. You probably thought it was another one of my mad harebrained schemes. No, it's a fad she's going through because I do that a lot. But he was just great about it. But the people I work with at the museum, they're all, you're doing what? How old are you? You're doing what? Okay. Because they're a bunch of big kids too, but they didn't really know what I was talking about. They don't wouldn't really get it. It's something that me and Mark had never done before. So, I was quite, other than Mark, I was quite on my own with it. But once I started to make a few friends within the community, suddenly I'd got people to go, what's happening and what this has happened and what button do I press now? And it felt a world better. Right early on, Wendy from Toompish Crafts and Claire's Crafty Corner were absolutely awesome. Dan Cooper for a while as well. And then I started meeting some of you lot, and that has made so much difference. It is staggering, and that's why I made the YouTubers, Crafty YouTubers United. It's not my group. It's our group. All I did was press some buttons to set it up. And the idea was that people wouldn't have to be alone in their YouTube journey, especially when you're just starting out, like I was. We could all do it together and have someone else to go, oh, me too. I know just what you're feeling. So getting into that community, I think, is another great, great tip for the whole mental health side around YouTube. Because we all have a rant at each other, and you'll never believe what's happened now. And it feels so much better when you've got somebody else to share it with and to ultimately have a laugh about it afterwards. Most of the time, it's absolutely awesome. It's no problem whatsoever. It's great fun. 99% of the time, I would say it's just the best thing ever. The weirdest thing is when somebody asks you for your autograph. That took me by surprise. Oh, there we go. Right, let's have a look. Where are we? You're all being so nice. You're lovely people. Yes, Deborah, anxiety does cause real issues, and I'm hoping that's all that is, because I'm being anxious about it, and that's making it worse anyway. So if once I know that it is just anxiety, I can go, oh, ignore it, and it'll just by default be better, which is good. Thanks, Sherry. No, I'm sure it is nothing, but you can't be too careful. You should get checked, shouldn't you? Yeah, I'm going to go up and try and get an appointment in the morning. Usually, if you ring up the doctors and say I'm getting chest pains, you're in there like a shot. What's going on here? Yes, it does affect your physical health, but I've had one cold after another. It knocks your physical health too. Grief related, says Susie. Yeah, I can remember this being bad when we lost my brother. So I'm absolutely sure, Susie. I created a whole new world for myself, says Deborah. I have. It's a funny little online world, and every so often I get the whole delight of meeting some of you. We're all talking health now, aren't we? Oh, where are we? There's all people saying, hello, Yvonne. Have I missed any questions, folks? And if I haven't answered the question you asked, hi, Yvonne. If I haven't answered the question that you've asked, because I've misunderstood it or I haven't quite answered the bit you wanted, please shout, because I've got plenty. I've got as long as you lot have got, to be honest. Sheila's got arthritis in her hands. Oh, that would be a nightmare. To be so hard to do your beloved crafting. I know those of you who've got bad backs and have to lean over the crafts have an awful time as well. What else we got? Yeah, I'm going to be naughty. I am going to message Mark. Cupper, please. He's downstairs. Yes, Susie. I'm expecting that potentially to happen. My mom. ridiculously fit old lady. She's 82 now, but when she was 79, was she even 80? She was. This is quite recent. She she thought she'd hurt her arm. She was getting a pain like here, and it sounded to me a bit like, when you do you ever play darts at Christmas and you haven't played all year, and the family will come round and you play darts, and you end up with a really bad pain in your arm the next day? It sounded a bit like that, and all we could think of was that she'd been doing some gardening and pulling up weeds. And I thought, she's old, despite the fact that she could run and she tells me she can do the can still. Kind of rather she didn't, but anyway, she's about size 9, fit as anything, 10, something like that, fit as anything. It's just this pain in her arm. Anyway, she was up at the doctor's, oh, getting her tablets for tinnitus. That is one thing she's had since I was a kid. So she gets these tablets. Yes, like tennis elbow type pain. Um, and she said, say to the doctor's receptionist, I've got this funny little pain in my arm. It's been a couple of weeks. I think perhaps I should get it checked. Next thing I know, she's in an ambulance on the way to the hospital for a quadruple bypass. She'd been having a heart attack for 2 weeks and she'd no idea. So this is why I'm not taking any risks. Hang on a minute. There's something there. Ah, that's a really nice question, Sally. If I could do an interview with any YouTuber, who would it be? Um, I've got a load that I really want to interview pretty much lined up. Just need dates from them. So outside of that, I'm not entirely. Oh yes, actually there is one I would like to, but it's a bit going over old ground, but it might be interesting anyway. So the ones I've got lined up, just so you know, and then I'll come on to who else I would like to interview. I'm going to see Lula in the new year because I'm intrigued by how the shop that she sells her crafts in works, as well as the YouTube and the crafts type of thing, because I've kind of done a lot of that sort of thing already with my channel. But I'm intrigued by the shop situation with Lula because it looks amazing, Lula's shop does. So I'm going to go down and see how that all works. So I've got that lined up. I've also got lined up, but just needing dates, Kirk Nugent, who is a live streaming and digital footprint expert on YouTube. Used to work for vidIQ. I've got Alexis and Liam Blake. She's a trans lady who puts out her life story and opinions on YouTube, and he's got a gaming channel. So hoping to go and see them. Just need dates. I'm trying to get hold of Sheffield Made Plants still, because he's a guy who gave up his job to talk about house plants, and he's just funny. I just really love him. I watch his channel a lot, so I want to go and see him and interview him. Who else have I got lined up? Oh, I've got Robin Wells of the Wells Car Company lined up. He wanted to make a car. Next thing you know, he's produced a car from scratch, and it's now a production model. He used to be a conductor. I don't know what the rest of his life is. And he's a lovely man, so I want to go and see him. And he said we can sometime in the new year. All the car magazines want to interview him first. He's kind of obliged. So on top of all of that, some of you may know that I've been out and interviewed a few people already, Sally included, and at All Aboard Resin Creations. And I've already been to see one fish tank guy, which is why this might be slightly old ground, but I think it would be very, very easy to organise because somebody I'd love to interview is his mate. Because he's taken it in a different direction. He's got a whole great big studio now, and he's about to hit 1 million subscribers. And he's somewhere in the vicinity of Taunton, I think. So somewhere down southwest, anyway. So I'd really like to go and see him. That's MD Fish Tanks. I have been promised by Brian G. Johnson, who we've had on my other channel before, who came on to talk to us about doing YouTube. Obviously, he's a massive name. But I had been promised, and I need to chase him up on this, Nick Nimmin. So those of you who do watch YouTube Gurus, I'm absolutely certain you all know Nick Nimmin. If you don't, where have you been? He's awesome. But Brian is actually a friend of Nick Nimmin, so I'm hoping to get him on as well. And the other one, I would really love to interview Rob from vidIQ, because I just think he's brilliant and hilarious. And he's just a regular guy that somehow got into it and then got scooped up by vidIQ. I'd love to hear the story properly. So I would say that's a bit of a long way of saying that, yeah, MD fish tanks and Rob from vidIQ. But that'll all be coming in the new year now, because this just too, yeah, between now and Christmas, I've just got to slow down. Um, I'm still hoping to get out on one little visit, Sally. We might need to make it in the new year if that's okay. I don't know. But yes, so there are people I'd would like to get out and see still, and some are half organised. Well, who's nibbling who? What's going on? I really should put this chat up on the screen, shouldn't I, for people watching later? Do, do, do. Any more questions, people? Oh yes, John, thank you for reminding me. I've also heard from Dracula. Dracula. It's like dragons and colour. Yeah. Do you remember when I went to the NEC and there was that lovely lady who makes her own watercolour paint, and it's colour flippy and chameleon and metallic, and look, here comes a cup of tea. Thank you. You're a star, thanks. Thank you. This is one of the first mugs I made with my vinyl, which I didn't stick on very well. Yes. So anyway, I had a chat with them, and they said they'd love to do a video. So I'm hoping to catch up with them. Oh, and Inyan Arts. You know, the people who do the fantasy film dipping resin. They've now got a coffee shop as well. So I'd like to go and see them because they're all big craft fairs. It is. It looks like it's a very full-on thing for them, and it's a mother and son outfit, which is really nice. So I want to go and see them as well. But they're somewhere in, is it Hampshire? It's somewhere down south for me. So that's going to be a bit of a jaunt. Who else was there? There's the people who did the paper folding at the NEC. Oh, and Beck makes. Got a corner Becca. I hang out with her twice a year at the NEC, and otherwise I don't see her. But she's an interesting business as well. She goes all the way out to. She's been out to Japan recently, and then she went to Morocco just to get inspiration because she's a genuine artist as well. So she does a lot of her own designs and things. But yeah, she sells a lot of stuff out to Japan. So how the heck did that happen? And she goes on telly. How did that happen? Uh, how did the auction go? Yes, the auction. That reminds me, there's two giveaway prize draws I still haven't drawn. I'm so behind with everything. The auction went very well, and it's given me. Oh, and he's a fan of MD fish tanks. He's great, isn't he? Yes, the auction. Uh, well, I put said picture on eBay, and Sally at All Aboard Resin Creations won it. We did have a very brief bidding war between Sally and somebody else, but Sally's won it. So when I get a chance to go down and see Sally, which hopefully will be very soon, I shall be hand delivering it. Which reminds me as well, I need the money's come through from eBay now, so I need to send the donation on down to Redditch Cat Rescue. So that was great, and I probably will do it again. And the easiest way to do it was most definitely eBay, because my attempts at making apps were just didn't work. More colours, colour questions. There's naughty bits in here. It's a good job I haven't got the chat on the screen. Yes, Deb, I'm looking forward to going to see Lula as well. It's going to be a laugh, isn't it? It will be good fun. I want some magic gloves. Come on, any more questions, everyone? Anyone? Anyone? Don't forget, if you don't think I've answered your question adequately, or it's made you think of something else, or then just shout up. Oh yes, I've got to sign the front of it as well, haven't I, Sally? Okay, no problem. You know, there's 29 of you in. That's the most I've had on one of these live chats. You lot are bloody awesome. While you're thinking, if you've got any more questions and you're all misbehaving in chat, do you want to see something I've just been working on? Would you like to see that? Is it 30 now, Gert? Ooh. let me show you. Let me show you. I've been sent a new resin. Of course, since I stepped down as being ambassador for Apex, I can use other resins. So I've been trying quite a few. Let's Resin in particular have been very kind and sent me loads. But I've tried, what else have I tried? Tea Expert, Craft Resin, and Artline, which is a brand new brand as well. So I was going to show you some of the stuff from Artline. Oh, hang on. Do I sign or stamp my pieces? Yes and no. Those. Hang on, let's just put this on the screen. Because I don't tend to sell my stuff, I just put a sticker on the back when I give it off to the charities. But I have got some little frog silicone inlays that I keep meaning to remember to put them in the back. But I keep forgetting to do that. But that's how I would do it if I did. Just like a little frog I made of a little silicone inlay. So just the last coat of resin on the back, just sit it in until it cures. But I don't tend to do that. Now those wall art pieces that like the one that Sally won, I would sign those because they're more like doing a painting, aren't they? So they would. As I would. Best air purifier in your opinion? There isn't one. All you have to do is look on Amazon for a carbon air filter. HEPA air filters, air purifier thingies. HEPA, the P stands for particles. So it'll take like dust, allergens, pollen, cat hair, things like that out of the air, but it won't remove VOCs. So what you want is a filter that's got as much carbon in it as possible. Now I've got a couple of Vexy ones. I've got my little ones up here. I've got some little ones that are from Anycubic that are meant to be for using with 3D printers to get rid of the smells from those. I've got some cheap ones that cost me about 50 quid off Amazon. I think my most expensive are the Vexy ones, and I have got the resinous one as well, which I never use. So I just use all these other ones. So I would say that possibly isn't the best one. I've done some proper scientific testing, as you probably know. I've got a science friend. He's a chemical compliance officer by trade. And I've got a proper VOC monitor, and he's got a proper industrial commercial one. And we've tested them all, and they all help a bit. That's it. So whether you get a cheap one or an expensive one or anything in between, as long as it's got carbon in it, it will help a bit. Nothing overrides the need for PPE and flinging your windows open, of course, and gloves and things. Favourite resin so far? I find that quite hard to answer because I think all of the main brands are very good. Let's Resin I do use a lot because they've been very kind and send me loads, but I tried the Tea Expert starter kit recently. That was really good. I haven't tried J Diction yet, although I have tried their UV. Very good. Craft Resin, I am suitably impressed with. The one I've got is the, what's it called? Crystal Clear. And you can only go up to like that sort of depth with it. But for coasters and things, beautiful. Really is very good. Their ultraviolet curing resin, though, total revelation. Have I got a bottle of it handy? That's it. It's that good that after I ran out of the batch that they sent me, I bought some more. Now, I use Apex UV. Oh, Apex resins are very good as well. I use Apex UV and Let's Resin a lot. This, I think, just might slightly edge them. They're all very good, to be honest, but this, total revelation. I've never managed to make it not cure or go sticky yet. And you would think that I'd be able to. But yes, that's what I was going to show you, actually. I've been trying this Artline, which is, it made my brain hurt because it's 2-to-1. And it is for very thin, shallow pores. And it doesn't let the colour move. So if you want to keep your colour kind of in one place, so I'm going to try it for geodes. This stuff looks like it's going to be really good. So I did this little pot with the leftovers. And to get that colour to move and fuzz around like that, I had to poke my stick in it. Isn't it shiny? That's called Artline, and it's made in Slovenia, of all places. It's made by an actual resin artist. But I also tried it with my Christmas wreaths, Oh, these I keep meaning to put these in my shop. It's getting too close to Christmas, isn't it? That's one of those woodcut 2-layer thingies. Look how shiny that's come out. They also sent me a load of pigments, which are good. Don't think they're quite as on a par with the Create and Bloom ones, but you get a massive set and they're really well priced. So I think I'm quite happy to recommend those and that resin. And then I made a penguin. I made a couple of coasters as well. It was lovely for coasters. It's another one that's for more shallow pours. But that's a woodcut thingy. I'll get that in the shop soon as well. Cute, isn't it? So that's what I've been working on. So in terms of favourite resin, I don't know if I have an actual favourite resin, but I think currently my favourite UV resin is this craft resin one, with very, very close behind Let's Resin and Apex. Well, that's a question for Lula. When are you going to see me do a challenge with Mark? Well, I did start teaching him to make resin reindeer, but it was right. We were too busy in a bit of rush to try and make things for this. We wanted to make a big batch of reindeer for the for that craft fair thingy. So we just didn't. We're going to do it properly at some point, probably in the spring. I need to think of something that Mark's more up for, really. I suppose something that's going to be more like a team effort. But we'll do it at some point because Mark's just so blooming. He's naturally funny, so it's always good. So, oh yeah, what's that one? Somebody improvising, I think. Let's have a look. Deborah says, I've added a carbon cloth to my air purifier. That'll help a bit. Actually, look, while we're on it, still around the area of air purifiers, something to be aware of that I learned from Gareth, my chemical friend. Carbon, even if it's not being used, like if the fan isn't pulling the air through it or whatever, is still absorbing VOCs from the air. And eventually it gets full and you have to replace it. So if you've got any spare filters, keep them in a sealed plastic bag so that they don't use themselves up before you actually put them into your air filter. I didn't know that. The same with respirators. There's very often, well, there should be in your respirator endy bits, the filter bits, there will be carbon in there. So keep them in a sealed plastic bag when you're not using them. Otherwise, they'll be spent far more quickly. But you do want to be replacing them sort of about every, I think the usage we tend to get probably at least every 6 months. And test it with an external separate VOC monitor if you want to be sure, because I know there's some out there, some very expensive air purifiers out there, and the VOC monitors are wildly inaccurate. So you can get a basic one for about 30 quid from Amazon. So if you're any doubt, check that. But resins nowadays, honestly, the good quality ones are so low on VOCs anyway. Most of them have none at all. It's when you start mixing stuff in with them, like alcohol inks, or you're spraying alcohol. I mean, I've always looked there. I'm in the craft room, as you can see. There's my bottle of alcohol. It's always around. There's all sorts of stuff that can happen once you start mixing what are effectively chemicals in with each other. So you still got to be careful. But the resins themselves get a bad rap. You should see what happens if you spray some kitchen cleaner or get some nail varnish remover out near a VOC monitor. Or the alcohol. In fact, that's what we tested it with. The air purifiers themselves was with my alcohol spray and a sponge. But they're a good addition. The biggest air purification you can do is fling all your windows open. I always have a fan pointing outwards to draw it out as well, and a fan behind me blowing that way. Can't really do that in the winter quite so easily, but I still manage to somehow. Just to keep drawing the air through, and yeah, the respirator. But I've got these air filters going. There's one of the Vexy ones up on the windowsill here at the moment. That's going all the time because they do help a bit. They do help a bit. Yeah, that resinous one will. It's mostly a HEPA filter, so that will pick up dog and cat hairs. Um, hmm, Not tried mold resin yet, Lula. That's kind of one on my list to have a look at. I haven't heard from them yet, which is odd. I did when they first sprung onto the market. I did ask them because they were going, "Oh, we're the highest rated resin in the UK," and they'd overtaken Apex. They were doing a lot of advertising, so I dropped them a line in their chat and said, "Is your resin actually made in the UK?" Because I know it's a UK firm marketing it, and it's not. It's made in China, but it's all been UK certified, so it probably ought to be good. So I will try it if they get in touch with me at some point. Susie's oh, Susie, that is a very timely question. My views on dipping resin. I absolutely love the fantasy film one. I did it years ago. Like I said, I wrecked my dining table with it. It does stain. Um, Absolutely love it. And I mean, every time I go to the NEC for one of those massive craft fairs, I do always go and book myself in for Indian arts little workshops so I can learn to make a new type of flower or whatever they're doing. It was holly one year. That was lovely. And so yeah, I absolutely love it. And I know that I've got several of their kits, and I know Sally at All Aboard Resin Creations has too. And we were planning next time we get together, maybe we could work on some things together while we're doing a live and have a chat. So that's kind of it. That plan is somewhere in the background still, I think. Now, more recently, I've been sent that kit by Tea Expert. It is Tea Expert, isn't it? Hang on. Yes, Tea Expert. Um, and I'm going to give that a try. Can't find the where I've put the dipping resin part of it because it's different. It looks like it'll be thicker and more sturdy, but then it wouldn't be as beautifully wafer thin and delicate looking. But I think I've got some ideas of how to use it, and from what I've seen other people, I've seen a few people using it now. It does look as if it's very promising, so I'm looking forward to have a play with that. What's this one? Try and get a wiggle on. Space in the world for Goth Alt Christmas. Oh, is you talking about the are you talking about the Christmas collaboration? There's a lot of collaborations going on at the moment, but the big main Christmas collaboration is next Saturday. So all I need is your video links from you folks, and if you can all make sure that you have mentioned the collaboration and that people should go watch all the other ones and put the link in your video description. Really, that's all needed. All that's needed. No time slots, no minimum, maximum length of video, no minimum or maximum size of channel. It could be your first video, or you could have 200,000 subscribers or whatever. Really doesn't matter. It's the more the merrier. Any craft, absolutely everybody is welcome. We're not excluding anybody. So whatever your crafts, whatever your style, it could be the alternative Christmas. Fine, just jump in. Wired flowers, the poppy. Yeah, John, I've still got the poppy kit. I haven't tried that yet either. Wired flowers are lovely with that dipping. Got some dipping resin. Don't know what to do with it. Well, Nikki, maybe after we've had a go with it, we can show you. But there are a few videos out there already. I know a few people have tried the Tea Expert one on videos. Lula, haven't you tried it? Got a funny feeling Lula's tried it, the Tea Expert one. Oh yes, and of course Sally has as well. Yes, I've forgotten Sally. She's done dragonflies with it. Ah, Nikki, how are you getting on with your X tool? Sorry, Nikki, I missed that question. Thanks, John. How am I getting on with my X tool? Absolutely love it. I've been sent another one. Another one. So there's going to be a video out on that shortly. I'm going to try and get it out this week, I think, actually. But I've now got that's a diode one, and it's very, very good for beginners. It's big and it's quite a powerful bit of kit, despite only being 10 watts. So I've had huge fun with it. In fact, that's what cut those penguins and that wreath out. So yeah, I absolutely love the thing. However, I've run out of space and I've been sent another one, which is bigger, and it's a CO2 laser instead. So it'll cut through things like clear perspex, acrylic, and stuff like that. And apparently, it'll engrave on cured epoxy resin, as I've just found out. So I'm going to I'll put a video out on that shortly. But they're amazing, amazing bits of kit. So what I'm going to be doing is lending John my X tool because it's also got with it, and I've never had the space or the inclination to show you the full silk screening kit. Now, John and Mrs. John, Andrea, know how to do silk screening, so they're going to have it and have a go. And I'm going to go over there and we'll make a video doing that as well, which sounds like it's going to be great fun. Oh yes, John has mentioned that um, Johnny Dark's most recent video on dipping resin. Yeah, Johnny did a cracking one on the dipping resin as well. He's so good with UV resin, isn't he? He really is. So that's worth checking out. That's Johnny at Johnny Dark. Is it Dark Art? Dark Art, I think it's called, isn't it? John, could you drop Johnny's channel link? Because everybody else that we're recommending is actually in the chat, but Johnny hasn't been able to make it. So, John, if you could drop his channel link for us. There you go. John was a professional screen printer. So the X-Tool S1, to come back to that, I say awesome bit of kit. Dark Arts Creatorium, is that it? Yeah. The one that they sent me is the S1 10 watt, which is the least powerful. They're normally 20 watt and upwards, the S1s are. But this one was specially designed to work with this kit that creates silk screens. It's got the big metal frames that you shut the silk screens down in and do your silk screening. And it cuts, as far as I can tell, the silk screens actually while they're in the frame ready to use. So I am absolutely dying to see how this thing works. I felt really bad that I haven't demoed it for them. So John's going to help with that. Kim wants to know, what drill do I use for resin? I can show you actually. That I know, I do know where that is. I'm getting a bit more organised lately. Jim, I take it you mean for making. Thanks, John. There's Johnny Dark's channel. Johnny's like nobody else with resin. He's a whole revelation. He's amazing. I've ended up with 2 of these. It's one of those things when I couldn't find it, so I ended up buying another one. Now I've got 2. But this is like it's like the cheap version of a Dremel. I think most people just use Dremels, but assuming that that's what you mean by what drill. Where are we? Yeah, what drill? Was that what you meant, Kim? For making the little holes to make them into pendants, stuff like that. But yeah, it's I think I've put it in my Amazon storefront, if I remember rightly. I'll check later and make sure it is. I've got a section on craft essentials. And I think I put it in there. If not, I will put it in, because it's cheaper than a Dremel, and it comes with a nice lot of suitable size little heads, even little things that you can actually engrave with as well. So it's a smashing little bit of kit, that is. Hope that answers that question. Susie subscribed to Johnny. I did a collaboration with Johnny a little while ago, and I was trying some of his techniques, and I kind of sort of did it, but you then go over to Johnny's channel to see how it's done properly, and it's like, oh, you're away. Yeah, you probably will see them in places like the Range at Aldi, those little drills. It's not at all expensive, but because it's cordless, look for a cordless one, because you can guarantee you want to drill a hole in something and it's miles away from a plug. So little yes, Crafty Coven, great question. You're being my plant in the audience. Hang on. There's the top of it. Where's the base gone? Oh, here it is. This is what I feel bad about. They sent me this about a month ago, 2 months ago, and it's a little compact one. And I've used it a couple of times, and it's blinking good. What I like is it's a bit more, because I like my big Let's Resin one. It's huge. I can get so much stuff in it. But very often I'm running out of space, and this little fella just sits nicely on the top next to me. It seals really well, and it lets itself off when it's done. So you haven't got to undo any flappy bits, or it just sorts itself out. And it's really, really, really effective. And to me, the best part was, some of them inside the lid have a big bit that sticks down. And so you end up, you can't put a proper pot of resin in it, because that's going to dip in the resin. Looks like I did dip it in the resin at some point anyway. I've splashed it. But it just means that you've got that whole space right up to the top. So you can see what you're doing, and you can put proper, little silicone pots in there quite easily. Or my paper cups, I tend to use my paper cups in it. I don't think it'll quite stretch to, yeah, it's not quite high enough for one of these sort of cups. But I don't know about you, I don't very often mix it that much anyway. So I need to do them a video on that. So I feel really bad now that it was on the floor next to me. But I will put it down there because I'll knock it off if I don't. So yes, if anybody has not tried that Istoyo debubbler, I can definitely recommend it. It's smashing. And there's a discount code in all my videos as well for it. Yeah. But I haven't seen any other reviews of it. My own personal experience is that it's really good though. The resinous one, I think I gave it away. Yeah, I think I gave it away. Because it got worse and worse. It just wasn't working as well. No, I don't know. It just seemed to take forever. And all the ones I've been sent since were like loads better. So I just, yeah. Yeah, those of you who've got poorly hands, I don't use mixers. I just find they get on. Agreed, Deborah. I just found that it gets on my nerves. I've got to something else I've got to clean. So I've got three. I've got two Istoyo mixers and the Let's Resin one. I would give them away really because I just don't use them. But I do know that people with poorly hands and things, those of you with arthritis and stuff like that, they must be an absolute godsend for, because they definitely work. So yeah. Any more questions? Blimey, we're nearly up to an hour and a half. You lot are fab. I'm so enjoying chatting with you. Any more questions? I've got a new UV lamp. Would you like to see my new UV lamp? I don't know if anybody knows this. I collect UV lamps. Craft Resin, that was what was in that UV resin kit that Craft Resin sent me. Isn't that a nice size? I think it's similar to one of the Let's Resin ones I've had before. Have I got any questions for you? Oh, that's a good question. Yeah. Okay. What about you lot? What is your best crafty buy of the year? Yes, Nikki, I have too. Wendy's tip and my curing machines. Done that. Wendy's a blinking star, isn't she? What, the UV lamp? It's not my biggest, John. It is a nice lamp. Spider gel, yes, I have. It works lovely. I think did we see it on Sally's channel? I think we saw it on Sally's channel, didn't we? But yes, I've done some bits with the spider gel, but only just sort of tested it. I've got a whole load of it that I must have a play with sometime as well. Best lamp. Oh, hi, Buzz. This one. I think there's a few of you who will agree. Oh, that demolition place. This one. This thing is awesome. It is really powerful, and it's heavy at the base. So if you've got stuff here that you want to cure, you can. Whoops. Turn it back off. You can stretch it right out. Looks like the Starship Enterprise from the side, doesn't it? That thing is just fabulous, absolutely fabulous. And because it only has its lights up here, you're not going to blind yourself. And I think the next best lamp, that's the Let's Resin one. The next best lamp, so I like that Craft Resin one. I like my little UV torches. Where's it gone? Oh, are they not up here? Must be downstairs. But those little torches I use that you charge up by sticking them in your your USB port, those are really good. But I think my next favourite, I think this little Estoyo one might have overtaken the Let's Resin one. Just because it's more compact, but it's dead powerful, and you have the thing that goes in between. And of course, you're looking down on it, so you're not going to blind yourself with the lights in the bottom because it's got the top on. Theoretically, Susie Q saying the sun lamps are good. Yeah, they are. A lot of professional now people use the sun lamps too. They're very good, aren't they? What's this one? The Let's Resin 8-in-1 machine. Oh, the sander thing. Yes, that's been a revelation. I honestly think that's worth every penny. Does mine drop? No. But there's no way you can tighten it up, is there? But no, it definitely doesn't drop. If you've got one that drops, I would let them know, Nikki, because it shouldn't. Mine's never dropped. So I would let them know about that if I was you. They might be able to sort that out for you. They should be able to. But no, I've never had that drop, and I've left it sat up like that for days at the end. Where are we? Lamp is awesome. Spider gel. We're explaining what spider gel is. Deborah's just ordered one of those lamps. Worst thing you've ever bought and wish you hadn't. I think it's got to be all that cheap resin I was talking about earlier. I wasted so much money on rubbish resin and things that just didn't work, and I ended up throwing them in the bin and thinking it was me. It was absolutely soul destroying because I really wanted to be able to do resin. So I think that's got to be the worst. And then I suppose there's a load of other things that I bought and thought, God, why did I try to economise on that? I should have just gone straight in and bought the proper thing. Like I bought a whole load of cheap microphones. Oh, you can take off the tie and tighten the screws, can you? Oh, I think this is what Sally's talking about. Is it this bit here? You can pop that off, can you? Thank you, Sally. There you go, Nikki. You can take this off and tighten the screws. I did not know. Thanks, Sally. Yes, Rachel, I agree. That debubbler, I was not happy with mine. So there's that. But there's other things like my filming kit. I had a load of phone grippers. I think I've talked to you about this before, but they grippers to hold my phone above that go like that, like big hair grip thingies. And they just snapped, and I nearly ended up with my phone in my resin several times until I got these ones that go like that. Can you see that? And they grip really well. And I also wasted money on a lot of very cheap microphones that are utterly useless. I think the kit I've got now, I just spent money on cheap stuff, thinking it was going to be okay and I'd get by, but it's just not. Having said that, nothing I've got here is hideously expensive. This webcam was a bit more pricey. That was about 100 quid. The microphone was about 85, 90, but it's Rode. Their microphones are usually like a few hundred quid. So this is just an entry level one, but they are proper brands, and that has made a big difference. So yeah, I think I wasted money on things trying to economize, and I realized that actually I don't need to go mad, but spending just a little bit more will pay. Oh, did they, Sally? That's how you know. There you go. Anyone with one of those lamps. Sally, have you still got that link or that video? If you could link it in the Crafty YouTubers United, so everybody, I think we can pass that around then in case anybody else wants to know how to do that. Yes, I agree, Buzz. There's some things you can economise on. I mean, cheap moulds. I've got a load of cheap moulds, and some of them lasted quite well. And especially if it's something you're not going to use much, you've got some that are a bit specific, then yeah, knock yourselves out. Just don't expect them to last like an into resin mold might, But yeah, why not? You can economize on some things. But and honestly, some of my early UV lamps, those ones that I just plug in to a USB port and charge them up, they're just little torches. Those are awesome, and they're about £8. But if you're only doing little bits, they're just the job, and they're really powerful. So some things you can definitely economize on. Um, but I think with the basic core of what you use, it is worth spending just that little bit more and getting the right thing. Get something really okay. Here's Sally's instructions. Something really like a pin or something like that, Sally. God, Mark makes a good cup of tea. I might summons another one in a minute. He looks after me. Yeah, Buzz, the Temu molds are actually okay. I stopped buying from Temu because I kept seeing fakes on there of proper brand stuff, and I just didn't like that because these proper brands, for a start, it should be better quality. I hope it would be. But they're the creators. It's a bit like if somebody completely plagiarized one of our videos, isn't it? We wouldn't like it. So I didn't really want to support it. Having said that, I have got a drawer full of Temu molds here from before. So I have still bought the odd one or two, but it's only when I can't find it anywhere else, and I'm pretty damn sure as I can be that it isn't a copy of one of the proper brand ones. I find AliExpress a bit more reliable. I'm seeing a bit less fakery going on there. So I tend to use AliExpress more, or Amazon, of course. But I mean, a lot of my molds I'm getting from Into Resin. Into Resin just sent me some more molds. Do you want to see them? Let me show you. I haven't actually seen these before. Some of these. You get the sneak preview, look. Oh, a reading glasses screwdriver. They're like jewellery screwdrivers, aren't they? Good idea, Sally. That's what it is. Read that one then. Here you go. Why all Disney questions? I don't actually know. Oh, this is a frog. It's quite big. I need to make that soon. It's a cute frog. Lula, are you still there? This frog has got a crown on. Actually in the mould. AliExpress, so slow delivery, couple of weeks sometimes. Yeah. If I want it urgently, I'll just get it from Amazon. Because the suppliers who send me stuff, it can take a couple of weeks because, of course, a lot of them are in China. So yes, that's a frog apparently. And then I've got. There is a little. I don't know if you can make this out, but in there is a little cat mold, and it hangs onto the chain like that, onto your necklace chain like that. Susie, I never have that issue. I order things that are only £2 or £3 and get free delivery the next day. Oh, have you seen them then, Lula? You've got them formed out the crown. You've got plenty of crowns, though, haven't you? But I haven't, so I thought that would be nice. What we got here? We have got. I think that one. I think that one's half a football. That's what it looks like. And this one, I have no idea. This is a thank you gift. Should we get it out and have a look? Yeah, that cat's gonna be adorable, Gert, isn't it? I'll put one in the next box I send down to you. Oh no, I've worked out what it is. Turtle shell. It's a pot. Look, that's a centre. It's a pot. It'll gotta make that. See, the thing is, I ask Into Resin for certain things. They'll say, which ones do you want this month? And I've just said, oh, I'd quite like this one and that one if you don't mind. And And then they put a load of other ones that I'm not expecting in as well, which is lovely. It's really lovely. But these ones, this one I definitely asked for. I don't know if you can make that out, but it's little fish. Look how tiny they are. Little tiny fish. So that's lovely. But then there's a load of these, which I don't know if they're from. I don't think they're from the handmade range. I think these are from their more, regular affordable range. And we've got little bows. Oops, see little bows, and there's a hole in the middle. Or are they butterflies? I think they're butterflies actually, but there's a hole in the middle, so I don't quite know what to do with those. But they're cute. I'll have a look on their website and see what they've made them as. Seashells and things. Look, little crabs and jellyfish and all sorts. At some point, I'm going to do like a pot and stick all these around the outside, so it makes a thing of its own. Oh, I know what I mean. The decorated pot or whatever. And then this one is little birdies, and these have all got little. Look at the robin. Look at the robin. But these have got little holes in them as well to make them into things. Adorable. So I actually wasn't expecting those. Oh, and some little cabochons as well, little round ones type things. I don't know, they're fun. Yeah, so that's what Into Resin has sent me. What? Oh, Susie, I was going to send you a little fish. Can you email me again, please? Because I'm hopeless. I had like a sieve. Right, who else we got? Lucy. Hi, Lucy. Yeah, Susie, please do drop me a line and remind me. I have actually found my box of fish. I don't make them anymore, but I've got a few. I have still got a few, so I'll do that. Any more questions, everyone? Crikey, we're heading for 2 hours. Any more questions? I was going to ask you more questions. So you've all listed making mobiles. That would be a good idea, Debbie. You've all listed what you thought your best craft gadgets. Oh yes, Susie, because we watch a lot of Amazon Prime TV. You told me what your best craft gadgets are. What would you like to see me make coming up in the year coming up? I'll make a list. I'm always open for suggestions. So what would you like to see me make? And anyone who wants to do one of those one-to-one collaborations, people seem to get a few subscribers and a few views out of it. So if you want to do that, then give me a shout. I'm quite happy to do those little one-to-one collabs. I'm going to try and get back to doing one every 2 or 3 weeks, something like that in the new year. We've had fun with the ones we've done so far. The next one I'm doing, I've just messaged Kirsten earlier to see if she's still up for it. We're going to do tumblers because I haven't done Tumblr for a while, and I thought I might do myself a Christmas tumbler. So I've got that coming up soon. Something creepy cute, Tracy. I'm not very good with creepy. Oh, the adorable turtle thingy. I'll think of something, Gertie. You can throw some more specific ideas at me. Has anyone done a phone case cover and seen on TikTok what looked wrong? Kim, do you mean the one that Daniel Cooper flagged up? Merry Creepmas. Could try, couldn't I? Lula? You talking about the one that Daniel Cooper flagged up and sort of copied the video. Yeah, showed her video. Yeah, I've done phone cases. I haven't got around to making a video on it yet, but the easy way to do it is use clear phone cases to work onto and use the flexible, the soft cure ultraviolet curing resin. The Let's Resin one's very good. So you can just put on your stickers or your gems or whatever using that bendy UV resin. Works perfectly. That would be the way to do it. So that's the one to have a play with at some point. I keep meaning to. I've made one to see if it worked, and that was it. It's daft, really. I normally do one to see if it works. It's what you see on camera. Merry-go-round. I don't think I'm gonna be making the merry-go-round mould, Susie, because they take just too long to make. 36 then, gosh. Although I might have a go. Wouldn't be in time for Christmas. What I have been thinking, Susie, is this I can laser cut a merry-go-round and then decorate it with resin. So that is something I have been toying with the idea of. But those actual merry-go-round silicone molds, I just think I think it would just drive me crazy. I don't really fancy it. A horse carousel. Yeah, you see, I just don't think frogs and turtles instead of horses. I love the idea, Susie. It could be tricky one. But like I said, what I was thinking was I might have a go at one of the laser cut ones, and then you know how you can colour in the wood and then coat your resin over the top. I might have a go at something like that, but um, it'll have to be well into next year because that one is going to be time consuming. But it is such a lovely idea, and I've got some little motors, so we could do it. So Susie, will you not let me forget things? I'll put that on my list later. Poinsettia mold, yes, Nikki. Into resin, do it's buried somewhere. A little pot with a poinsettia on the top, one of the handmade range, and they also do some Christmas bauble ones that have got poinsettias on. So have a look at the Into Resin website. Yeah, when I do it, Susie, it will probably be the wood. A deep ocean piece with glow in the dark fish. Ooh, I do like oceans and fish. Mhm. Yes, Buzz Buzz. Um, what I'm going to do later, it's too many here to write them all down. What I'll do is I will make a list because this chat, by the way, when this is over, if anybody's missed it or coming quite at the end, um, then you will be able to hit when this goes on to replay, you'll be able to hit the uh, view chat or replay chat or whatever the button is. But there is a button where you'll be able to replay and see what the chat's been going on because it has all been on YouTube. I haven't split it across channels. So you will be able to see that. So that is what I will be doing in the morning and making a list because across this and the other conversations you've been having, I bet I've got a load of ideas. It's funny, people often say to me, I run out of ideas. Where do you get your ideas from? Well, it's you lot. The questions you ask, the ideas you throw around. Sometimes I'll see somebody's video and go, "Oh, that's good. I've got to try that." In fact, that happens quite a lot. So you all inspire the hell out of me. Trust me. Nikki, if you do go over to Interresin, don't forget to use my discount code because 20% is worth having. I can't remember what it is. Is it mini scenes 20? Something like that. The link is in all of my video descriptions anyway for that discount. So make sure you grab it. Thanks, Susie. I'm terrible at checking my Discord groups other than the big one. So yeah, if you drop me a personal message and the fish, but I will check the chat back. As I said, I'll play it back tomorrow over a nice cup of tea. I am going to chill a bit when I get back from the doctor's tomorrow, and I will make a list. Yes, John. This is where my battiest ideas come from. It's you lot. Yes, you're right, Lucy. We are all weird. That's why we are strange, and long may we stay that way. What is it Luna says? Stay weird. Right, we're coming close on 2 hours. Is there anything else you want to chat about? Anything you want to ask? Any comments to make? Anything? Just stuff things in the chat. I really don't mind what. Just go for it. Do I have any molds of my awesome pyramid? Oh, you mean the one with all the details on the outside? Wonderfully weird. That's it, Lula. Lovely. Is that the one you mean, Susie? The one with the all the details on the outside? I didn't make them because I found that the design was copyrighted, so I won't be doing molds of those, I'm afraid. Oh, hi, Julia. She's made it. Yay. Thanks, Deborah. Yeah, sorry, Susie, I won't be doing moulds of that one. Thank you, everybody. Julia made it back. I'm glad you managed to get back safely, Julia. I know the weather was kind of coming in on you, wasn't it? Wait and see if Julia's got any random questions for me. Nobody has asked me anything really random tonight. It's all been resin and YouTube and stuff, which is lovely. It's great to have some stuff to talk with you all about. You've done a great job, John. Let's take this one off the screen now. Is that a mug of whiskey you're having? No, it's tea. Got the doctors in the morning, daren't have a drink. I'll go, what's going on in this blood test? Or whatever. It's 40% proof. Best ice cream. Oh, I've got an ice cream story. Thanks for that one, Lula. At the museum, we get an ice cream van come round to the shows in the summer. And if we're working a show weekend, they give us a free ice cream. Now, there's one called the Tracey Chocolate Special. Because I went up to the ice cream van one day and I wanted a little pot rather than a cornet, because I thought that's going to make less mess. And I want just vanilla ice cream with chocolate sauce on it and chocolate sprinkles and 2 flakes. And she made me one. And everybody in the queue behind me said, can we have one of those? So it's now known as the Tracey Special. That's my favourite. Vanilla with chocolate dumped on it. Although rum and raisins very nice as well. How do I take my tea? Do you drink coffee or just tea? Not a fan of coffee. I drink coffee if we're at somewhere where the tea only comes out of a machine and it's horrible. I will occasionally have a coffee, but more often than not, it is just tea, and it's just white with no sugar. And I'm not particularly fussy other than that. As long as it's sort of tea coloured, it can be weak, strong, or indifferent. I don't mind. Any more questions? I like it when it gets a bit random. Any more questions? Has anyone quite buying? No, Julia. What do you mean? Tea cures anything. I agree, Lucy. Having a bad day? Have a cup of tea. Would you like to elaborate, Julia, please? Buying subs. Rubber raisin. I like that, Nikki. I always felt very grown up eating rum and raisin chocolate, but ice cream, because it got alcohol in it. I don't know whether it really has or whether it's just the flavouring, but it made me feel very grown up. That and cider lollies. Do you remember cider ice lollies? Which prefer? Oh, that's a nice question, Crafty Coven. Most proud of from this year? Gosh, that's difficult. 25,000 subscribers, I suppose, was a bit of a biggie. I think probably watching the rest of the group getting monetized and growing and learning, and it's all very, yeah. I've always been one of these that's got more excited about seeing other people succeed than succeeding myself. I suppose that's why I spent most of my career as a learning and development specialist. I like to see other people succeeding. So I think really it's this lot. I'm proudest this year of you all. And for myself, very proud to have such lovely friends. I mean, it's just goes without saying, doesn't it? Right. My deepest pour, Susie, was probably the big pyramid that I did with the poppies in for Remembrance Sunday last year. That's just, it was about like that. I don't know, what's that? About, is it 8, 9 or 10 inches tall? Something like that. It's a big pyramid mould. Recommend a good tea. Yeah, you can't beat PG Tips. It's my favourite. Oh, I see. Well, I've been told that since I haven't in any new subs lately, It is early days, Julia, isn't it? But I could buy them, but that seems wrong to me. It's damaging. It's We did put a video out on this on the other channel a long time ago, about the YouTube promotions, which is a similar sort of thing. If you buy subscribers, effectively, they're not real subscribers, and they're not going to watch your video. They might watch 30 seconds to get you that initial tick, so you've got credited, so you'll get a few more views, but they won't be watching your whole video, and they're not going to come back and watch the rest of your videos either. And so what that then tells the YouTube algorithm is that your videos are rubbish. And so it stops promoting them and pushing them out to the right audiences, because it's almost like a thumbs down for your videos. So it can actually really, really badly hold your videos back. It's quite easy as well to see when people have been doing that, because what you get is high subscriber numbers, really low views, and low impressions. That's the bit where YouTube is pushing it out to people. That will be low as well. And if you're running vidIQ, you can see where people have done it, because it'll go all flat like that, and then you'll suddenly get a spike. So that's the other message. Not only can it do a lot of damage to your channel, so you're right to not do that, Julia, absolutely. So not only can it do that damage to your channel, people can see it, and it's really, really obvious that that's what you're doing. So all around, it doesn't do your credibility any good either. And a lot of suppliers will not just look at subscriber count, they will also look at your actual watch hours, your numbers of views, your watch hours, engagement, so the numbers of comments and all that sort of thing that you're getting, how busy your channel is generally, what sort of reactions you're getting from your audience, and so on. And because that's what they want. They don't want necessarily need people who've got big numbers of subscribers. They need people who are getting their videos actually watched, because that promotes their product, not a random bunch of subscribers who don't watch their video. Does that make sense? So yes, it's very harmful to your channel, and secondly, it does make you look a bit daft, because everybody can see that's what you've done, including those all-important suppliers that you might want to work with in the future. You've always got to keep an eye on what's going on in the future, and be mindful of that too. Does that answer your question, Julia? You're absolutely right to feel wrong about it. Hope that's answered the question. So if you think I'm pausing too much, there's a delay on the chat. I don't see it until a good few seconds after you have. Julia, I'll come back to you if you've got any more questions around that. But yeah, good, smart lady. However, Kim has got biggest make I've created so far. It's got to be somewhere, in terms of volume of resin, it's got to be somewhere between that big pyramid and, the Pouring Your Heart Out, Julie Cuts' whopping big dragon, the latest version. It's huge. And I've got that, and I've done several of those. It takes a heck of a lot of resin. It really is pushing a normal resin to its limits. It is verging on needing to go for a deep pour, but the whole thing's big. So that is actually my biggest make so far. Good question. Hang on a minute. Sally's gone off on one. What would you rather fight, a one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses? I'm going for the horse-sized duck, because I don't think it'd run as fast as a horse, so I'd be able to get away quicker. Ducks haven't got any sharp edges either. The beaks are nice and rounded. Duck-sized horses would be fun though, wouldn't they? I'd be wanting to catch those and take them home. Yeah, I'm going for the horse-sized duck. Thanks for that, Sally. That's a good one. I was just choking on their coffee. That's a cracker. Yes, you absolutely can see who's bought Subskirt. It's really easy to spot. Oh, hi, Pecan. Good to see you. Hope you're doing okay now. Oh, Johanna's it. Oh, look, it's 2 hours. I'm meant to be stopping, but if you like, if you like want to keep going, might see if I can rustle up another cup of tea soon. Um, will I get another guinea pig? I kept whinging about wanting another guinea pig, but um, because we got this great big run for him, and it took up half the lounge, and we were in so much in bits when the little fella died. We haven't really. No, not yet, I think is the answer. Um, and then, of course, there was the episode where I went to take some donations of resin thingies to Redditch Cat Rescue to sell for their charity, and I came home with a cat. So he's kind of taken our life over at the moment. So guinea pigs, yes, at some point, I'm sure I will. I've always had guinea pigs since I was a little girl, but the cat's my furry buddy at the moment, and he's doing a good job of it. Very entertaining, very fighty bitey, very playful, and then very cuddly at night. He's just the job. What's Susie up to? Let's have a look. Little channel that I put bits and bobs on. 13 subs. Susie, is it a craft channel? You should join the Crafty YouTubers United if it's a craft channel. The Lex Resin Angel takes 32 ounces of resin. Is that a lot of resin? You know me and numbers. I'm hopeless. It sounds like a lot. Hi, Jennifer. Yes, Julia, that would be a huge quack. Nikki says say good night. Oh, Annie, nighting with friends rather than a stream. That's how I was hoping it would be. It's just good to get together and have a laugh, isn't it? Oh, hang on. Thank you. Cheers. I don't know how long it'll be. We're still going strong. Oh, teddy bear hamsters, Jennifer. I had hamsters at one point. Hi, Patricia. Hamsters are cute. Oh, those little Chinese hamsters as well. Very, very cute. Oh, Susie, you're just doing shorts? Yeah, it's fine. John's just doing shorts at the moment, aren't you, John? Shorts are a great way to find your feet and just sort of get into the swing of it and how to upload things and all that sort of stuff. It's not. I mean, long term, it's not how to grow a craft channel in particular, but as a sort of like a support act to your main big videos that you eventually do, shorts can work very well. I know some people. I'm rubbish with shorts, but some people use them very, very effectively. Well, Mark's making me another cup of tea, and we've had a whole wave of people arrive. So if you want to carry on, I can. Oh, rats, Crafty Coven. I had pet rats. Domestic rats are lovely, and wild rats are a bit of a different hamster. Russian hamsters bite, yes, they do, Susie. So do Chinese a bit. They can be bitey. No, I had a pair of silver fawn hooded rats, and they had babies, and they were really nice. But I used to feel sorry for them. I think if I had one rat and it had been a proper pet like Fudge was, my guinea pig, and they got handled a lot and played with a lot, it would have been great. But because I got a lot of them and a load of other pets as well, they just look bored all the time because they're such intelligent creatures. It's not like with the gerbil where you can give them a toilet roll tube and they'll be happy for an hour. Um, I just felt bad. So I sold the babies, and then when the mum and dad passed away, I didn't have rats again. But they were blooming awesome creatures. Oh, bye then, Kim. So as we've a new raft of people coming in, we've talked about a whole load of random questions. We've talked about mostly about resin, some about YouTube. We have talked about cats, pets. What else have we talked about, folks? Lots of things. But I'm quite happy to hang around for a bit longer if any of the new arrivals have got any questions. Seriously, ask me anything. Okay, John, thanks for your help. May see you in a bit. I don't know how long we're going on for. I'm enjoying this. I could talk for England, you know me. Oh, you don't do resin, Susie? Yeah, but is it crafts at all? Because it doesn't have to be resin. It's just so if anybody's got a craft channel, Jennifer's got 4 cats. I had 4 at one point. It was a bit of a handful. Funny though. Yeah. Anybody who has got a craft YouTube channel, like I said, it doesn't have to be resin. Most of us are resin crafters because that's kind of we started it as a bunch of resin crafters. But there's people who do other things. I mean, John's involved with the group, and he paints things. Doesn't do much resin yet, but he paints things like bowling pins and old saws and all sorts. That's incredible. And some of the group do. I know Gert and Lula in particular do make models and things and paint those and all sorts. Oh, thanks. Got a new member. Thank you, Crafty Coven. Mardy hedgehog. Hedgehogs are funny. Is it one of those little African pygmy hedgehogs? Yeah, a lot of people do, Annie. There's some people in the group. I mean, as you've probably seen, I think Gert and Lula immediately spring to mind, but some of the others do too. Do loads of different crafts. I've just tended to mostly do resin because it's my current fad. It's a very long living fad. But in the background, I am sitting of an evening doing watercolours, or trying to. I'll tell you what I've bought. I'm going to have a go at soon. Night, night, Deb. What I bought soon is a wax stamping kit with actual wax, because I kept seeing, you know, well, I've got a load of wax stamps anyway, as in inspired by Wendy at Toonfish and her beautiful inlays she makes from them. So I got a load already. Oh, somebody's giving away memberships. Thank you. Who did that? Who did that? Pecan. Oh, thank you, Pecan baby. That's so kind. Welcome on board. That is fantastic. You're a blooming star. Thank you. Welcome on board, everybody. But yes, anyway, so I bought some, because I got a load of wax stamps. I actually bought the kit to melt the wax and some wax, purple wax. And I'm going to have a go at doing the wax stamping, but then making molds from the actual stamped piece rather than from the brass stamp, if that makes sense. So I'm going to have a bit of a play, and I have got some modelling clay I've been meaning to have a go with for about the last couple of years, that sort of thing. Oh, so Susie's is going to be a bit of all sorts. Wants it to be resin, but to open it, put on cross-stitch cushions, fireworks display. Yeah, mine started off with bits of all sorts as well. There's nothing wrong with that, Susie. Annie does, crikey, you do a lot of different things, I see. Yeah, goodness, we've got some very multi-talented people amongst us, haven't we? So yeah, that's my latest thing. Was there anything else new I was going to have a go at? I was going to tell you about. Don't know. Amy challenged me to do some wood carving. I'm sort of, that's freaking me out slightly. I might have a go at some point. I'm thinking wood carving that I can then inlay with resin. Oh, oh. Back in a second. There's something I've got to show you. What do you think of that? I'm quite smug about it myself. Reflections are a bit funny. What do you think? I might do one of these to auction soon. This was the prototype, and so I did get resin on the wood here where I shouldn't have done. Probably ought to varnish it. But what I'm thinking, that this is a kit. This is layered woodcuts. So, and I made it. So I'm thinking of putting these in my shop, and then of course you've got your resin river down the centre, and yeah, I might put it in the store. Don't know, but it's my prototype. But I'm very pleased with it. Mark's put it on the wall in the bathroom, but I could just about reach it to get it down. So there we go. Yeah, I might get that in the shop soon. I've got a few ideas to put in the store, and if I stop doing the days at the museum, then it'll give me a bit more time to do more stuff for my store, because I know my customer service is diabolical. It takes me forever to send stuff out to you all. What is the wood? It's just basswood. You know, the stuff, the thin, very thin plywood that they use for. Um, this is what it looks like unpainted. Hang on, I've got another penguin down here. Oh, there's the back piece of a penguin. That's what it is. So it's just very thin basswood. It's laser cut, and then you layer it up to get the. I've only got the penguins to show you, but you layer it up until you get your finished doody. It's that way around, isn't it? So the clock works like that as well. It's just layers until you get the thing that your finished shape, and then you fill in the gap with resin. So it's actually really, really easy. And then the top layer, I put a veneer on it. So I might do the veneer as an extra because some people just want to paint it or resin it or whatever. Not everybody will want to pay for the veneer because that's expensive, but it's a self-adhesive veneer that I bought from it's an actual cricket brand one, I think that is. Yeah, it is. It's just a type of ply. It's quite lightweight. Penguins? Yes, Julia. I've already put some in your box. Oh, that's an interesting question. What would you do if you could only do one craft for the rest of your life? Hmm. I honestly don't know. I'm not sure it would be resin because it's messy and all this all happens. I used to love wildlife drawing with pencil crayons. That used to be my thing. I did sell a few as well. But we're talking like 30 years ago or what, 40 years? Oh God, it's more like 40 years ago. Um, but that's something you can just easily carry around with you and do, and it's so non-messy that I really enjoyed doing that. So that might be one I would just carry on. But I think, like most of us, you just got to do. You see, you get ideas, don't you? And then you get one like material, and you think, "Oh, I wonder if I could do this with it and that with it. And what about if I combine it with this?" It is really impossible to stick to just one hobby. I think one craft. But I think if I really had to, it would probably be drawing with pencil crayons, which I haven't done for years. But I used to love doing that. Have I missed any questions? Oh, Susie, that works really well. Draw onto acetate. If you use something like a fine tip Sharpie pen on acetate and then colour it in, works really well. Especially if you then turn it over, it looks really good from the other side. And you can then put that into your resin. I Steve McDonald's been doing something with acetate, making transferring images as well, hasn't he? Which looks quite interesting. I might fancy having a go at. Yes, mixed media counts. Ah, right. Rebecca, hi there. I've been using, let's put this on the screen. I've been using my Cricut to add words to resin. Yeah, I often do that too. Do a base coat of epoxy, let it dry, then add the Cricut word, then add another layer of epoxy. But the Cricut word keeps puckering up. Have you, what are you cutting? What material are you cutting? Is it permanent vinyl? Because that's what we normally use, is the first question. If it is, you probably want to make sure the surface of your resin is really thoroughly degreased. So give it a spray and wipe it over with alcohol. It's got to be really well cured as well. And give it a spray and a wipe over with alcohol to make sure there's no greasy fingerprints or anything like that on it. Press it on really, really firmly and then put your resin on and you should be okay. It should be all right. As long as you're using permanent vinyl, it shouldn't be a problem really. So let me know, is there more to it than that? Is it permanent vinyl you're using? Because say Cricut stuff's usually very good. Let's wait and see if Rebecca can add anything. Let's see if we can help with this one. Maninda's also a mixed media person. Yeah, it's hard to concentrate on one or two, isn't it? Rebecca, has that actually answered your question, or do you need to elaborate a bit more so we can have a bit of another go? Some of the others in the group will probably be able to help as well. I think a lot of us use cricket to do that. I've actually got a Cricket Joy that I'm going to get rid of soon. Tech wrap vinyl, is it permanent as opposed to repositionable? Tech wrap's really good, so it should work. Yeah, if anybody's interested in buying my little Cricket Joy off me, it's hardly been used because I loved it so much. I rushed out and bought the Maker 3. So the little one's just sitting in a cupboard being wasted, really. But it's got a stack of marker pens with it, and a bunch of cutting mats, a few rolls of the vinyl as well. It's not the permanent one. Yeah, that was my first thought, Rebecca, because it does make a difference. I found that the non-permanent just doesn't stick very well to resin. So if you use the permanent, Tech Wrap's a very good brand, and HTV Ront as well. That's another good brand. That's one I use a lot. And the actual cricket materials are very good as well. They tend to be a little bit more pricey, but they are really good. So degrease it first. So make sure it's thoroughly cured. Give it that wipe over with a bit of alcohol. Let that dry thoroughly, and then go in with your vinyl, and you should be all right. Let me know how you get on. But that should do it. Would you, Susie? Okay. What I'll do, I'll take a photo. I was going to put it on eBay, but I'll take a photo of everything that's there and we can work out roughly what it's worth, and it'll be a bargain, obviously. And I'll offer it out to the group first. I don't know. There's about 300 or 400 quid's worth of stuff, I think. I need to work it out. There's a lot, and it's hardly been used. It's got a really posh little carry case and everything as well. So whether to put it on eBay, and it can, but I see. Look, you're all fighting for it now, and I honestly don't know how much to put it up for. I need to do a bit of research first. If it wasn't so much money's worth of stuff, I'd just give it to somebody. But and I did, because I did buy all that myself. So I'd like to get something for it. Leave it with me. I'll let you know when I've weighed it up a bit, and I'll try and come up with a sensible price. Best place to buy PU resin. Right, if you want white, Let's Resin is very good. Their polyurethane's very, very good. But there's a firm on eBay that I use a lot. And I can't remember what they're called. Can anybody help? It's the one that everybody uses in the UK. But I just get it from eBay. Hang on, I'll go and have a look. It's down here somewhere. Polycraft. This is one of the clear ones, which is pretty good, but it takes a little while to cure. You might as well just use a fast cure UV, really. That's it. It's from MB Plastics, isn't it? But it's called Polycraft UV resin. So I get my black from there. I've tried the clear. It's, like I said, it's pretty good, but it's not as fast curing as the black or the white. They do red as well, and they do colorants for it. But that's just on eBay. You want me to auction that kit? Okay. If I'm going to auction it, I'll put it on. I'll probably put it on eBay, because that's the easiest way to do an auction and get it sorted. Yes, MB fiberglass. That's right. You got it. Thanks, Sally. MB fiberglass, and the stuff is called Polycraft. But I use a lot of the black. Oh, haven't they, Crafty Coven? It's in demand. It's a shame. I keep talking to Let's Resin and saying, yeah, your white one's lovely, but what we really need is black. They don't seem to understand that why we use so much black, but we do, don't we? I think the biggest thing I've done with the PU is one of the smaller dragons. You can only go so far, otherwise it flash cures. But it what like I don't know, inch and a half, something like that tops. But it does layer up fine. So I hope they'll get some back in stock. What's happened to my cup of tea? What's happened to my cup of tea? There's an empty mug here, and Mark took the other one. Any more questions? DWR Plastics. Ah, that's the other one I was thinking of. Yes. Yes, it's brilliant for backing on items. That's what I use it for, definitely. But I did try some bigger casts with it just to try it out. DWR Plastics, that was the other firm I was thinking of. I think it's a very similar product. They're both fine to deal with. They come quite quickly from eBay. I was just hoping Let's Resin would do a black one once they started doing the white. They don't believe me. Nobody listens to me. But it's perfect for backing items, isn't it? I use it for backing like little jewellery pieces and stuff because it's so quick. I tell you what else is really good for the smaller pieces: the black ultraviolet curing resin that Let's Resin do. You can get all these coloured sets of resin. There's a few of them doing coloured UV at the moment, but Let's Resin do a separate kit with like this size bottles in, with 2 white and 1 black in it, and it's just the right level of mix of black. It's a little bit blacker than in the small bottles in the sets that they do. It's got just the right level of black in it to not impede the curing. It's really, really good, and I'm finding that excellent for backing things too. Here we go. Rebecca's got a question. Sometimes when I take the things out of the mould, the base has like cut out whole edges. I've tried spraying the mould with alcohol and burning the surface using cocktail stick around it. It still doesn't work. Yeah, not the best plan to spray alcohol in the mould anyway. It's the moulds don't last as long if you're doing that. But it doesn't work that well. It is a case of poking around. Another trick though is, and this might sound daft, even if it's a small piece, if you use deep pore resin, yeah, I know it's going to take a couple of days to cure. It will take longer to cure. But if you've got particular molds that are really pesky for getting bubbles trapped around the edges like that, and it's driving you mad, try a deep pore resin, because they're a lot runnier and it takes a lot longer to cure, which gives the bubbles more time to get out. So I've done that quite a lot, but you do have to be patient, obviously, because it does take longer to cure. So if that helps, that's my top tip for that one. Susie, you don't find me on eBay as such because I've closed my eBay shop. When I opened, because I got the Shopify shop going, and it seemed silly to be paying for 2 shops, especially as I don't sell that much. So I closed my eBay shop. What I'll do if I do, so I just sell like a normal person would now. I just put the odd item on if I've got like a sale, but I could put the cricket on there. So yeah, I only put like the odd specific thing on there. It's got to be a year since I last put something on eBay. Until I did till I used it to do the auction for that big art piece that Sally won. So I'll just have to share the link and let you know where it is if I do put it on there. Unless we do an auction live in one of these, we could do that, couldn't we even? I know one thing, I wouldn't fancy posting it abroad. I think it would cost you too much in the postage. It wouldn't be worth it. Okay, take care, Pecan Baby. Thanks for popping in. Yes, Crafty Coven, what's your name? What is your name? If you don't mind sharing, of course. Welcome back, John. Alicia. Oh, hello, Alicia. It's lovely to meet you. Any more questions? Because I don't seem to be having another cup of tea appearing. So I'm thinking of drawing this to a close fairly soon. 2.5 hours. Is that a record yet? Oh dear. Any more questions? Anything else you want to talk about? Trying to think if I've got anything exciting and new to show you. Other than that, um, meant to be having a go at paint pouring at some point. Sally challenged me, and we just haven't had time to do it. So that's another one. Anything else new? Got another couple of these new pegboards. They're all the way across the back wall now. Still filling them up. The one that side. That's going to be all my Create and Bloom stuff. Oh, well, but it depends how long you want to go on for, Susie. If we're drawing to an end and you've run out of things you want to talk about or questions or whatever, then I shall make myself a cuppa in a moment. But if you want to carry on, I'm enjoying myself. I hope you all are too. Oh, Nigel's 8-hour live. Yeah. Does anybody? That's a very good point, John. I meant record for me, but this. Um, Good friend of John's, who I've got to know, good friends, make it plural, the North Hants magnet fisherman. John is one of the North Hants magnet fishermen, and he put me onto watching them in action with their magnets pulling random things out of rivers, and it is the most addictive watching ever. Anyway, the other day they decided to do an 8-hour live stream for charity. And so they got a whole load of magnet fishers from other groups as well along. John was there. I was meant to go, but I really wasn't feeling too good, so I didn't go. But I was going to go along and help with the filming and stuff. But yeah, they did an 8-hour live. Once I got my act together a bit, I did dip in and watch bits of it. But honestly, fancy doing an 8-hour live. They were amazing. It was great. I could just keep dipping in and out. Blinking was. But yeah, good fun. Mhm. Do you want to talk about anything else, or are we all happy? I was thinking perhaps to call it towards an end now because it's 2.5 hours nearly. Any final questions? Let's say that. Any final questions? Oh, favourite. Right, hang on a minute. My favourite way to finish a project: doming the mould, pouring the epoxy over the top, or UV resin over. Yeah. Depends what it is. If you've got a really nice shiny mould, don't need to do anything. But if I wanted to put an extra, yeah, do the domed thing, I tend to try to fill the mold so it's domed while it's in the mold, so you don't get the sharp edges. Um, but sometimes you want to dome the other side anyway, because it's, if it's like a bit of jewelry, so you turn it over, and if it's all flat rather than domed, then I will dome it. Sometimes I'll use UV, sometimes I'll use something like Apex One Coat, because that is specifically designed for doming, and it's also very high heat resistance. So sometimes I'll use it to make a coaster, and I'll also put that extra domed gloss finish on the top with some more of it. So sometimes I'll do that. But if I can avoid doming, I will. So I look and think, does it really need it, or can I get away without it? But I don't like to just pour it over the top. But you see people pouring it and it drips off the sides, or dipping it. I don't tend to get on very well with that. I'm not very good at it. So I prefer to put either the epoxy or the UV resin on, and take it out to the corners, and let the surface tension hold it in place. Most things I find a little bit of a sand first, so that the resin doesn't pull back from the corners, because sometimes you get that, when it pulls back and you end up with a bit around the edges where there's no resin. So a little bit of just a very light sand first to give it something to key into. Johanna's asked, oh yeah, we were having a good chat about UV resin earlier, Johanna, before you came along, and I was saying that Let's Resin and Apex I find very good. I did use Jade Diction a while ago. That was also good. At the moment, my current fave is a brand new product which I've just been testing, and oh my god, it's good. And that is this one from Craft Resin. Pretty impressed with this stuff. No sticky. It's just great. So I'm loving that. There'll be a video out on that soon. They've just launched their first starter kit for it as well, which I've got. Can you use UV on top of coloured epoxy? Says Susie. Yes, you can. Wait for it to cure first, and then I usually find this is one of those, give it a light sand first. Just take the surface off a little bit off your epoxy, and then a thin coat of the UV resin to dome the top, and you're away. Perfect. Apex One Coat is lovely stuff. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Tea. Grommet. You have to say grommet after you said tea, don't you? Apex One Coat's good because it cures really fast as well. So that's good stuff. It's from apex.com. So I use that quite a bit as well. Although these new resins, that craft resin and art line, both of those are really, really good for doming as well. They just don't cure as quickly. They're more like a normal cure time. I'll tell you the other one that's good. Apex Quantum. That stuff is insanely good. It cures in 2 to 4 hours. You know, and it is specifically designed for doing tumblers. Again, it's food safe, high heat resistance, all that sort of thing. But it's designed for tumblers, so it's really thick. So as your tumbler turns, it just sticks to the surface. It's lovely. And that is turning out to be a very, very good top coating resin as well. And again, there's two versions of that. There's one that takes 6 to 8 hours to cure, and one that takes 2 to 4 hours to cure, depending on your room temperature and so on. So that's another good one to look for. Let's Resins Fast Cure is a good one as well. I haven't got any of that in stock at the moment, but that's another good one for top coating and stuff. Any more questions? Now I've got my tea. Right for a bit longer if you want. There's still 27 people in. You lot of nuts. I love you all. Any more questions, or shall we call it a day soon? I was going to get an early night. Favourite Christmas tradition? Actually, you know what? I'll steal this one from Mark's family. Then on Christmas Eve, they tend to all gather around at his mum's house and have hot pork baps. I nick all the crackling, and then there's all nibbles and snacks and bits as well, but the hot pork baps. And it's just such a great time to see them all. With my side of the family, there's only me and Mum. So actually on Christmas Day, we tend to go and scoop my mum up, bring her down to Mark's mum's, and just the four of us will have Christmas dinner quietly there, and that's really nice as well. But I think the night before, on Christmas Eve, when all Mark's tribe get together and have hot pork baps, it's just smashing. It's just so nice, and so I think that's probably it. And then after that, I'd say falling asleep in front of the telly on Christmas evening. That's nice too. And Christmas dinner wise, we have the turkey and all the trimmings, proper traditional Christmas dinner. And Mark cooks it, and he's a good cook, so that's really, really, really good. Any more questions, folks? Last chance, last call for questions. How many cuppas would you drink in a day? Oh God, I'm a serial tea drinker. Dozens probably. You wouldn't believe the rate we get through tea bags. Loads. Honestly, as soon as I've finished one, I want another. Only if there's, it's too early for beer or whatever. I just love a cup of tea. The museum, it's always me that's fetching drinks because I always want another one. Where do you buy you a Mark that brings drinks and cooks? I know. I used to joke I ought to rent him out. Right. Rebecca's got another one here. Let's just pop that up on the screen. Should we make this our last question unless anybody's got any really urgent ones? If you think of any after, lob them in the comments below the video, and I'll I do try and check for messages. I'm a bit behind at the moment, but I will check on comments and things. When I sand the edges of resin, even just tiny little bits of sanding, I find those bits go really dull. Is there anything out there to stop the dullness, or does it then need a top coat? You can go down through the grades of sandpaper that you're using until it gets really, really fine, and then you can use a resin polish like Flitz. Hang on. That stuff is really, really good. You can get that just on Amazon. But I would say that usually you are stuck with it. It takes forever to do it by hand. So top coating is the usual answer. However, if you fancy treating yourself, that little sanding machine from Let's Resin. Here we go. Here it is. That thing. It's like a mini bench grinder. It's normally got a housing over here when the disc's on it to protect it and stop bits flying in your face. But you can take it out of there as well and use it as a handheld thing. And it comes with a load of different polishing mops and different grade, different size ends and all sorts. That for me has been a total game changer when it comes to sanding and polishing resin. Although around the edges, if it's just like around the edges of a coaster, I just go around it with a nail file. And sometimes you can just hide it. If it's just just the very, very edge, you can hide it with a metallic marker pen. That's another tip for you. But if you want to treat yourself or put something on your shopping list, I've got a discount code for all the Let's Resin stuff as well. This is what I mentioned earlier as my best buy of the year. Well, I didn't have to buy it, thankfully. That was a gift, but one of the best gadgets of the year, if not the best gadget of the year. That is great. It's quite powerful as well. And it's cordless. You plug it in, charge it up, and it's cordless. Any more for any more? I hope that was helpful, Rebecca. But yeah, it's a good question. Another good question. Any more for any more? Should we call that the last question then? I can go and have my cup of tea and go to bed. I am also building up a list of topics to do. But seriously, it's good, Rebecca. I'd happily recommend that to anybody, that sanding machine. Put it on your Christmas list. I am building up a list of topics to do those, the little sessions when we just talk about a specific topic. And if I can get an expert on, I will. If not, you'll have to make do with me, or if any of the group know quite a bit about it, we can get them on to help as a guest as well. So if there's any particular topics that you want me to talk about on my other channel to do with you, specifically to do with YouTube rather than resin, then please do let me know. Drop me a line in the Discord group if you're in it, in the Crafty YouTubers United, or IM me if you're not in it, or drop me an email or stick it in the comments, because I haven't done one for a while. So I'm quite happy to do one on a particular topic. You may know that I was on as a live guest on Kirk Nugent's channel recently. I think I linked that to you all as well, where we were talking about the new collaboration facility on YouTube. That is working out to be superb. We're going to be looking into some of the other new features for you as well soon. So let me know if there's anything in particular you want to talk about. And we'll start scheduling in those for next year too. And, if you all had a bit of fun here, then it would be I'm quite happy to do this more often because it's fun. And it saved me making a video, let's be honest. I've enjoyed it. Oh, Susie, she wants to know, would I do another live to let you know how you get on at the doctor's? I can do, depending on how it goes. But yeah, okay, Susie. I'll put word out one way or another. I promise I will put word out one way or another. If I've got chance and inclination, and if I feel like it, I'm sure it'll be fine. By the way, I am sure it'll be fine. But I will let you know one way or another. And if I get time to do a quick live, I will. Thank you, everyone. You're blooming awesome. I can't tell you how much it means to me to have all of you here in the chat. I absolutely love this. We could do it sometime where you can all take it in turns to pop up on the screen and wave at everybody and things if you want. It's quite easy to set up, that is, if you wanted to do that. But if anybody fancies being coming on screen and talking about the topics or whatever, we can do that. Anyway, take care, everyone. Thank you for all your good wishes. Thank you so, so much for being here. It's been absolutely awesome talking to you all. I loved your questions, the bonkers ones and the really good questions about the resin and YouTube and all that. Don't forget, if any of you have got a craft channel, just drop me a line, or Gert, or Julia, and we can send you an invite to Crafty YouTubers United if you've got a crafting YouTube channel or are very seriously thinking of doing one pretty soon. Then you're very welcome to join that. And don't forget the Christmas collaboration. Spread the word, folks. We want as many as possible in that Christmas video collaboration. Any crafts, any channel size, just drop us a line with your link and we'll get you sorted. Right then. Night night, everybody. Anything else? Stick it in the comments. I'll get to it as soon as I can. Take care, everyone. Bye then. Bye. And I'm going to have nightmares about horse-sized ducks as well. Bye.